Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm supposed I could take sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My handshake is better than anything I ever signed. It's right here.
You are a one-on-one?
My son's right about
I don't think I've ever said this before.
Folks, this is what happens when you turn 47 years old and you need glasses. However, the problem is Americans don't realize they don't make Middle Eastern get glasses.
They don't.
They make American glasses for average noses. Us we need like a little bit of a width is what we need. We don't have it, but we're going to make it work.
More of a valley there.
Tom has given me some stats. By the way, folks, anybody that's a major baseball free agent that is a top 20 player, I would love to have you on the podcast for whatever reasons. Just have a conversation with you, nothing more, nothing less. Because we're looking for some of the best baseball players that are currently free agents or are willing to make some changes if they want to get on the podcast. Again,
we just want your opinion
if
about
they
life.
want to get on podcast. Because this past weekend, I watched the greatest World Series I've ever seen in my life. Vinny, we cannot debate it. It's the greatest World Series I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
And I totally feel for Vladimir Guerrero because he was 0.1 second of winning a World Series. But Tom's not crying about it. Tom is celebrating Vladimir crying. Turn over. Let's get into the stories. We got to watch.
On the crying side, trust me.
We all have been. We all have been. But anyways, congrats to the Dodgers. Guy texts me. He says, "Why are you saying this? You know you hate California all the time." I said, "No. I love California. I hate the politics." And there's somebody that said, who's your governor, who was going like this. Vinny knows how to do this stuff that Vinny does. He said he hates politicians who lie, but that's your politician, California. We're going to play that clip for you. And FYI, you know what Prop 50 means for California?
What?
Guess what, California? No matter how much of a great candidate you get behind, after Prop 50, it will not matter. You all have. If you can't beat the Democrats, you may as well join them if you choose to live in California.
It's over.
Because nothing's changing with Prop 50. It's so bad that even Arnold's coming out saying, what the hell are you guys doing with this Prop 50? By the next time we do a live podcast, by Wednesday, New York City will have a new mayor. And that mayor, according to every poll you look at, says is going to be a guy who is named Zohran Mamdani. If Sliwa would have changed, things could have possibly changed. Rob's got a poll he wants to show you that reveals a lot of it. And Vinny's got some stuff he wants to say about New York City. For the last shot, if anybody's thinking about voting one side or the other, maybe Vinny can tilt you to one side. We'll get into that story as well here momentarily. The 60 Minutes interview with Trump, if you didn't watch it, we're going to watch some of the stuff here. And on 60 Minutes. A lot was covered. A lot of questions was asked. It was interesting how they opened it up, but we'll definitely cover it. Trump designates Nigeria as a country of particular concern over widespread Christian persecution, killings. Trump gets apology from Canadian Prime Minister after anti-tariff Reagan ad backfires. Hacked emails allege Jeffrey Epstein helped broker diplomacy between Israel and Russia. Lazy luxury sneakers are taking Wall Street by storm, but are they really worth $1,100 price tag? Trump says he's ordered Pentagon to prepare for possible action in Nigeria. We already said that. Nicki Minaj thanked the president. Maduro, like we said, if he goes the way he's going right now, his days are numbered. They brace for another attack, and he comes out talking about Gen Z as an invention of Western psychological warfare, and Russia says it's ready to respond to aid Venezuela against U.S. threats. Trump, Gavin Newsom's disturbing hand gestures, as if you didn't know already, folks, but it got really bad. Former CIA director gets heated when confronted over Hunter Biden's laptop disinformation attempt. You should see Brennan just goes like this, touching the man, just like this the entire time. If you haven't seen a video.
Love it.
I saw the video. By the way, was the other guy somebody or was he just a regular?
He's a somebody, but he's calling him on his BS the first time, and then the second time he literally was putting his hand. And I respect the other guy for not punching him in his face.
Yeah. Andrew Cuomo, Curtis Lewa closing in on Zohran Mamdani as New York City mayoral race tightens up. Trump says, I don't want people to go hungry. I don't want Americans to go hungry. This whole SNAP thing, folks, we got a bunch of things to show you with a SNAP, and even Fetterman's coming here. By tomorrow, after tomorrow, it's the record. Longest shutdown in the history of America. After tomorrow, The Overton window speed run. You ready for this one? This is a very interesting story. British voters now more right-wing on immigration than Americans. Of course you're going to be.
I wonder why.
Exactly. Then we have exclusive Netflix hires investment banker ready to explore a bid for who? Warner Brothers.
Hell.
They want to compete with
Let's
David
go.
Ellison and Sky Dan. So we'll see what happened there. Gayle King stepping down from CBS Morning later next year. Scott Jennings tell MSNBC Lawrence O'Donnell, irrelevant lunatic is who he is. Ronda Rousey says Joe Rogan wouldn't know about how to fight. She really said that, huh? Ronda
really-
Rousey said
bro,
that.
like, come on.
Heritage Foundation shakes up staff in wake of Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes controversy. The Dodgers won, and we'll talk about that a little bit. And then a few other stories that we got here. Trump tells Ilhan Omar to leave the country. New polls show Californians overwhelmingly supporting Prop 50 ahead of Election Day. There you go, California. And Obama calls Mamdani. Mamdani tweets out saying that Trump endorses Cuomo. Big red. Rob, I don't know if you saw this tweet or not. Big red. Mamdani says, I told you Trump was going to endorse Cuomo, as if it's a bad thing. But then Obama calls Mamdani, but he just calls him.
For 30 minutes.
It's like this. Vinny, how you doing?
I'm good.
Everything good?
I'm good.
What'd you think about the Dodgers?
Very good. Everything was, I had it the other way, but yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Then at the end, you say, can I get your endorsement? And I say, no, I just called to check on you.
Really?
That's it. All right, buddy.
weird.
Have a good day.
But
No, I
I
gotta
gotta
go.
go. I gotta go. All right.
Barack
Bye.
Michelle-
Hussein,
coming from the
Hussein,
7-Eleven with a
Hussein,
pack of
we're both
Salems. I gotta
Muslim.
go.
What happened?
Yeah, so that's that. Michelle Obama complains we didn't get the grace from other families have received, that other families have received.
Tired of her.
Playing
Yeah,
the
it's a little too
card.
much. Ricky Gervais, folks, if you haven't seen this, Vinny just showed it to me. Put something. We'll show it to you in a minute.
It's so funny.
Is that in like the subs?
It's in the subways and the trains and yeah.
He puts a controversial, rejected tube advert debunking. Is it a real thing?
It's
He
real-
actually posted it.
He's posted
Rob,
them.
can you fact check if he actually?
Yes.
folks, you have
Billboards.
to see this. We'll show it to you in a second. Funny as hell. Anyways, let's get right into it. Let me give you guys some good news on what happened here. So last week, let me give you the report, Rob, if you are ready. This is day, I don't know what day it is.
From the vault?
But this is 36, day 36 for me of wearing these. This is all I wear now, day 36 of me wearing these shoes. Okay, the future looks bright, the FLBs. Here's what happened. Every size was pretty much sold out, including the white that's not even here yet. Okay, every size. For black and brown, the only thing that was left was 9, 9.5, 10, and 11. The only sizes that the shipment goes out today. You order today, it gets shipped out today. Those are the only sizes that are left for black and brown. Rob, can you go to black if you don't mind? If you go on black, can you officially order size 7 and 8 or not yet? No. Click on it.
Not yet.
Okay, so officially the only sizes that we have left are 9, 9.5, 10, and 11. But I believe that effective here in the next 24 hours, okay, you can go place the order now because I was under the impression that it was already up, Rob.
Hold on.
It is.
I
it
just
is.
refreshed.
Okay,
Yep.
so that's what it
there
is.
you
You don't
go.
refresh it.
Oh, all of them?
Here's the good news. The good news is folks came back and they said, Pat, can we get 7, 7.5, and 8.5? Guess what? We officially bought the mold for 7, 7.5, and 8.5. It's going to be done by November 17th. We're building the actual mold for 7, 7.5, and 8.5. You can officially order all the sizes, the 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10, 10.5, 11, 11.5, 12, and 13. Some of the ones are going to come to you first week of February or first week of January. Some are December. 9, 9.5, 10, and 11 will be right away. But the reality of it is it's sold out ASAP. And the feedback we're getting with the people that are wearing the shoes on a daily basis, everywhere I'm going, I'm seeing fans are like, Pat, look what I'm wearing. Look what I'm wearing. Look what I'm wearing. Look what I'm wearing. It's great to see people are loving the shoes as much as we're wearing them. If you haven't yet seen the ad, Rob, can you pull up the ad real quick for us to tell you the story of the FLBs? And we'll get right into the podcast. Go ahead, Rob. When we set out to create a shoe that blends comfort, function, and luxury, we had the choice to make it fast. We had the choice to make it cheap. We chose neither. Instead, we chose Tuscany, Italy. We chose true Italian craftsmanship, each pair touched by 50 skilled hands. We chose patience, spending 2 years perfecting every detail, and we chose the finest quality at every step. Introducing the Future Looks Bright collection. Not rushed, not disposable, not ordinary. Rather, intentional, luxurious, timeless.
Can I point something out that we're in that factory? How many people, because it's all handmade, were lost? They had fingers missing. These guys, no.
Oh, that was the weirdest thing with
These
the fingers
guys were
missing.
they're like, this guy's been here for 30 years, Tom. Remember? Missing fingers because of the machine.
Multiple people.
Rob, like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Girls, got everyone.
Well, I didn't want to say that, but what you just said is like people lost fingers making these shoes.
Not
Is that
these-
kind of what
not-
you're
not
saying?
for these fingers. Not
I was
for these
like,
shoes,
we're
but-
going to get a different kind of people approaching us now.
But these are really
Yeah, no.
legit.
But the point is, folks, we spent a lot of time on these shoes, and if you haven't yet ordered it, the comparable to it is, think about the same factories pretty much that make a lot of these other shoes, the Gucci's, the Zegnas, the Ferragamo's, Berlutti's, the FLBs, same type of leather. We're talking about high-quality leather, premium, laceless, craftsmanship. The only difference is it's the only one in the world that has the super foam technology, similar to what OnCloud and Hoka has, making the shoe light and comfortable to wear. When you wear it once, you're going to want to wear it all the time. And again, for some of you that are saying, man, I wish I would have had 7.5. I wish I had at 8.5. Order it now so you're guaranteed to get yours to come in. And who knows, some of them may come in earlier, but go to vtmerch.com, place your order with the shoes. Cannot wait to see you wear it. And by the way, when you do get them, put them on, take a picture, tag us. We want to see the pictures. Take care. All right, sounds good. Having said that, let's get right into it. First thing I want to talk about is 60 Minutes interview, Vinny.
Yeah.
Let's go into the 60-minute interview, and we know what's going to happen when we play these clips. 60 Minutes is the only publication that when you post their clips, they come back to you and say, why did you share that clip? What the hell do you want us to do? We want to react to videos. Isn't that what you want to get eyeballs back to you? But anyways, they're the most complicated one to deal with. We're going to do it anyways. Rob, which ones do we have here?
So I have a bunch. I have Mamdani, where he talks about Mamdani being a communist, where he calls out James Comey and Letitia James and the Department of Justice indictments. Also talking about China and Taiwan and the government shutdown as well.
Why don't we go with the government shutdown? Because it's right off the bat. I think that's the first thing they talked about during the interview. Go ahead.
Much less expensive for people and give them much better health care.
But where is
and
that
I'd
plan?
be willing to
But
work
where's
with the
that plan?
Democrats on it. The problem is they want to give money to prisoners, to drug dealers, to all these millions of people that were allowed to come in with an open border from Biden, and nobody can do that.
Can
Not
I just-
one Republican would ever do that.
My understanding is if those healthcare subsidies are not extended, premiums will double for many of the people that are on it. And I was looking into it. 3/4 of these people will see their healthcare premiums double. Live in states where you won in the last election. I mean, even here in Florida has the highest number of residents on Obamacare in the country.
And I'm
If
saying we
those-
can fix it, Nora.
You have helped end these government shutdowns in the past
I
when
did.
they came
I
about,
did.
and you did it by bringing.
I'm very
them-
good at it,
You
but I'm
brought
not going to
members of
do it by.
Congress
I'm not going to do it by
White House.
extortion. I'm not going to do it by being extorted by the Democrats who have lost their way. There's something wrong with these people.
So then what happens on November
is a
15th when the
basket
troops
case.
don't get a paycheck?
Schumer is a basket case, and he has nothing to lose. He's become, I just left Japan, he's become a kamikaze pilot.
Sounds like it's not going to get solved, the shutdown.
It's going to get solved, yeah. Oh, it's going to get solved.
How?
We'll get it solved. Eventually, they're going to have to vote.
You're saying the Democrats will capitulate.
I think they have to. And if they don't vote, that's their problem. Now, I happen to agree with something else. I think we should do the nuclear option. This is a totally different nuclear.
Okay, so that's what you hear. Now, when you're hearing that, everything you're hearing right now, it's Republicans' fault, it's Republicans' fault, it's Republicans' fault, right? Tom, when you hear that, do you have the clip of Fetterman, Rob?
I do.
When Fetterman's talking about, Democrats, just own up already. Come up and say, like the last time, remember when they were shutting down, what did Trump say last time? I'm going to own this shutdown. I'm going to own it. Do you remember when he's sitting in the office
Argument
with
with Schumer in the Oval Office. He
Pelosi?
said, okay, Chug,
I'll take
own
it. That's right. That's what Democrats don't want to do. But watch what Fetterman says here with his beautiful three-piece suit. Go ahead, Rob.
What are you hearing back home about SNAP expiring on Saturday?
I'm saying that I will witness it firsthand. My wife, Giselle, she develops the free store in our community, and it distributes food 3 times a week. And her lines have already got longer. And now I will encounter people that have no SNAP benefits starting on Saturday, and I don't have an explanation for them. All I could say is, I'm sorry. It's an absolute failure what occurred here. for the last month, and now things are really going to land. And imagine being a parent with a couple kids and how you're going to fill their refrigerator and pack their lunches and get on with their lives when the things that they've depended on now is gone because we can't even agree to just open things up. For a Democrat, we're not allowed to just open this up. I mean, then our party has bigger problems than I thought we might have already. It's like, that's not controversial. Pay everybody. And you have our workers here borrowed over $350 million to pay their own bills. Like, it's a failure. And like I said, to all of the viewers, I'm apologizing that we can't even get our shit together and just open up our government.
Schumer said this gets better politically every day for Democrats. What do you say to that?
Yeah, well, ask the hungry people on Saturday. It's like, that's the thing. Americans are not leverage. This is not some shitty game show about who's winning or whatever. It's just like we have to be better than this and just open this up. And I do, talk to any number of Republicans who they agree that we have this conversation about extending.
But here's a problem. A poll was sent this morning in text. Tom, I'm going to come to you right after this. If you can pull up this poll, Rob, that was tweeted, you know which one I'm talking about. The one where, that one right there. If you take a look at this, folks, watch this. So this shows party affiliation. Zoom in a little bit, Rob, first on the top one, and then we'll go on the bottom one, which is more important. This is party affiliation, percentage of all journalists in a marketplace, okay? You got blue is Democrats, journalists. They've stayed the same number as they were in 1974, okay? 35.4% then, 36.4% today. Look at the Republican affiliation from 1974. 26% were Republicans. You know what it is today? 3%. And independents from 32.5 to 51.7, and then you have other, right? But the Republican and journalists, those two don't go hand in hand. Now look at the bottom chart, Rob. If you look at the bottom chart, this is the main one. Who trusts the mainstream media from 72 to 2022? Republicans no longer trust it. Democrats trust the mainstream media about the same as they did back in 1970. And independents have given up on the trusting the mainstream media as well. So the main people that are keeping mainstream media believing that, no, the government shutdown is on the Republicans and all this other stuff, the Democrats are convincing the Americans that they're in charge right now, that they're right about the shutdown. Tom, your thoughts about 60 Minutes and some of these other things with the shutdown here?
Well, first of all, it's the game again. It's the game. Find a victim. All these people, their premiums are going to go up. Under whose program? Whose program? It didn't work. I can tell you what happened. I did a massive case study on this with Obamacare. I mean, we won't even go back into the numbers, but the numbers scream that after 3 years on Obamacare, he greenlit all of the insurance companies to start raising premiums. That was the deal that Obama made with the health insurance industry lobby. That's what he did. And it didn't end well for American consumers. And now we're coming in here. Why are there subsidies? Because Obamacare pricing was a joke, Pat. It was never adequate. So they artificially made it lower. Give me 3 years and give me the victory. Give me the W. Give me the victory lap. And now I'm going to come back and do it. These are subsidies. This is artificial. The market's not working. So Trump is right about he will not be extorted. And to get some things done during the shutdown and coming out of it, Trump is correct. He says, I think they have to vote. He says, and I'll even go to the nuclear option. Fetterman is right. And by the way, you can't blame, the Dems are trying to blame the Republicans, but ladies and gentlemen, remember the number 60. That's how many votes it takes. The Republicans could all say, let's end the shutdown tomorrow, but they need 60 votes. So they need
five more. I think they have 2 Democrats.
5 or 7, depending. They need, because you got the independents, Lisa Murkowski, you have a Maine independent and Alaska independent that are kind of wild cards. But they need the votes, so they need cooperation, but they won't do it. Fetterman's right. Why can't we come together and vote? I'm going to sit there and say to my people, I don't have an answer for you. I'm sorry. And my wife's trying to help with something. Fetterman is a modern, what I love about Fetterman is he's sort of a modern guy, Manchin, stepping up into it. Now, 60 Minutes, I find it to be hysterical what they did. And by the way, folks, if you're part of it, you're there, and you want to send us a note, those clips were run exactly from 60 Minutes. We didn't stop it. We didn't start it. We didn't trim it. We just showed exactly what they provided, and we give full credit to CBS and 60 Minutes for it. And it speaks for itself. Look at all the stuff that they didn't air on TV, and they slid it over to YouTube later. Look at that manipulation. That's exactly the chart you've put up there, Pat, about why don't independents trust the media? Why don't the Republicans trust the media? Why is it so low? Because 60 Minutes wouldn't even run the thing. Oh, no, we published the whole transcript. Yeah, it's somewhere over here, but you manipulated the main broadcast. So I think Trump is right, and I think what's interesting is across the aisle, people like Fetterman are there willing to play, but the mainstream, the establishment, and Schumer, this gets better politically every day. I wish he would say this gets better for the public every day. I wish that was the first thing on Chuck Schumer's mind. Instead, I think this gets better politically every day, and I think that's shameful.
Vinny.
Oh, I think, first of all, the art of the deal, if they thought for 2 seconds with everything that he's doing, with all his negotiating skills, Brennan, he was going to stop. Like, he's going to budge. I love that he said extorted. At the end of the day, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, and the left, they are playing politics, and it's going to mess with all these people, all you people that we always question. Why do you keep voting Democrat? Why do you keep voting Democrat? Now you're going to feel it because they are playing with the food. We know how they keep saying Donald Trump's starving the children. No, it's the Democrats. He's waiting. He's letting you guys know. And it's pretty crazy that out of all the Democrats, John Fetterman, and I feel so bad that he went through a freaking stroke. Something must have happened. He's the most sensible sounding Democrat of the lot of them. It's only him, Brandon. And if you guys think about it, Pat, 70% of I've been wondering, I text you guys in the group today, no wonder why they have Trump derangement syndrome. 70% of them still believe mainstream media, and now there you go. That's the reason these people are losing their minds, because you still believe the CNN, the MSNBC, which is changing to MS now. Guys, they're using this as a ploy, just like Newsom is playing this, blame Trump, everything Trump, everything Trump. It's not Trump. Turn around and look at your own party, and when you're hungry and you have no food and the 15th, the military's not going to get paid, it's because of them. Plain and simple.
Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, think about what's happening. So the Democrats are saying that these people are going to starve, and they're making a whole ruckus about it, but they're the ones that are holding it up. So I think the happiest people about this are the Democrats. Like they wanted something like this to come along where they could dangle this out there and tell a sad story and blame Trump for it. So, and the people are actually believing that's Trump's fault, not their fault. But they're trying to hold on to something that was supposed to be a temporary thing. What they're trying to keep in place was part of the Inflation Reduction Act, that add-on to the Obamacare. So that wasn't something they're supposed to have in long term. And I think we're asking the wrong question too. We're saying, how do we make sure these people have enough money to buy food? I think the question should be, why don't these people have enough money to buy food, to afford food as it is? That means that food isn't being made in the most efficient way, that the food industry has a fundamental problem. If 40 million people can't afford to buy food, then that's a systematic problem with the country, not a problem with getting money to people.
It's not one-sided, or they need to go get a job.
No, that's too. Oh, it's multiple layers. Yeah, because think about it. If I know that I don't have to work, I can sit on my couch and keep having 9 babies, and you're going to pay for it, go for it.
So for sure. So watch this while you're looking at this. Rob, can you pull up the clip on SNAP benefits? The one that Elon Musk had. You know which one I'm talking about? That Elon Musk. It's in my notes, Rob. If you go find it.
Okay.
If you go in the notes, so Elon Musk retweets this clip of what this right there, Rob. You had it right. It was the one right there. No, go. So Elon Musk retweets
right
this
here.
clip. That's
Brooke
the one.
Rollins.
But can you close it for me to first read what she says in there, if you don't mind? Zoom in a little bit, Rob. Okay. On my first day, USDA, we told every state to send us their SNAP data so we can make sure illegal immigrants aren't getting benefits meant for American families. 29 states stepped up. 21 blue states refused.
Weird.
And the 2 sued us for asking. Play the clip. Go ahead, Rob. Play.
Day one of USDA, February 13th, is we sent letters to every governor in America being very clear that no illegal aliens can use SNAP. 0, 0, 0. We asked every state for the first time in history, and this was in February, to send us their data and let us, with Doge and a war room, actually start going through this data to better understand how this explosion of SNAP benefits happened under Joe Biden. We increased almost 40% on this program in just a couple of years under the Biden administration. Of course, we know they were trying to buy the election, but that's a conversation for another time. And since we have asked for that data, 29 states have complied. Of course, almost all the red states, a couple of couple blue states too. But in that data, and I haven't talked about this yet publicly, in that data we've studied about $100 billion in spend. We have found thousands and thousands of illegal use of the EBT card. We have been moving people off of SNAP. We've got almost 700,000 people, I think, we've moved off just since the president took office. We've arrested about 118 people. So this has been ongoing. But, Rachel, to your point, what this conversation has allowed is a national spotlight on a broken and corrupt program. We found one guy in 6 different states getting a benefit. We found about 5,000 people that are dead who are still getting benefits. Like, it is time to drastically reform this program so that we can make sure that those who are truly needy, truly vulnerable, are getting what they need, and the rest of the corruption goes away and we can serve the American taxpayer.
There you go. Vinny, go ahead.
Think about the Democratic game plan. Brandon, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
And this is why, Tommy, they're so unpopular. In the history, how long has it been? 35-year all-time low, right, Robert? Or whatever the stat is. Think about this game plan, Brandon. You open the border under Biden, okay? When they get here, you give them $10,000 debit cards, all right? Put them in hotels, give them all these benefits, put them on SNAP, put them on everything, Pat.
Yeah.
Make it illegal to ask for identification.
Remember the Obama phones.
Obama phones as well. Make it illegal, Pat, to even ask for identification. Then, when ICE is going after them, make it seem like they're Hitler and Nazi Germany and make it sanctuary cities. That's how you keep these voters. It's all, they have no leaders, they have no voice, they have no policy. So you know what you do? You import illegals. Pat, we are a magnet. Elon even called it. We're a magnet because we incentivize these illegals. And the moment you try to stick up and say, wait a minute, they're raping young girls around the country. Wait a minute, they're taking money from this. They're taking this money from this program. We're labeled racist, and we hate Mexicans, and we hate Venezuelans. It's bullshit, and I'm sorry for my language, but that's what it comes down to. And this, did you see this, Pat? States where Kamala Harris won versus ID requirement. Look at, she won the states that you had no ID. She would have lost every single one of them, I believe, maybe California pending, if you have to show ID. That's the game. And I want every American out there that's listening to understand they don't give a damn about you. They don't care if your kids starve. They don't care if our women and our children get raped. They just want power. They want to hang on to that power, and that's why you have the Newsoms. That's why you have Obama Pat sitting there flipping out because they've lost.
And more voters were the path to power.
And that's the part where the interviewer tells Fetterman, Schumer says the longer this goes, the more they win.
Yeah.
And Fetterman's like, I'm not trying to play a scoreboard game here.
Hungry.
By the way, pull up the Christie Noem, Rob, the 6,000 Social Security given to the terrorists. I don't know if you guys saw this one or not, so check this out. So wait a minute. Who got Social Security? People on which list? Watch this, folks.
Sure that individuals who got Social Security numbers in this country should be using them for the right things, and they shouldn't be on our benefit programs. You know, we have over 6,000 individuals that have been identified through their work already that have been on the terrorist watch list, that they are known criminals.
How does that happen, Madam Secretary? How does that happen?
It happens when you put a train wreck like Joe Biden in the White House, and it's going to be a lot of work to clean it up. But just in the last 4.5 years, we've had over 9 million people get Social Security numbers that are not U.S. citizens. So they may be people who have some sort of legal status, but a lot of them are illegals that were given a Social Security number in just the last 4.5 years. That we're going to have to figure out if they should be here, if they are here legally under a program, and if they are here illegally, then they certainly shouldn't be using that Social Security number to be on our programs, and they should be removed or given the opportunity to go home on their own. That's the one thing President Trump would like, is everybody to be given the opportunity to go home if they would wish to.
So you see this. You know what the average person's taking, Rob? If you want to pull up that last one that I got here on the 25% of Haitian immigrants are on SNAP, 45% of Afghan immigrants are on SNAP. 52% of Senegalese immigrants are on SNAP. Watch this one here. Go ahead, Rob.
25% of Haitian immigrants are on SNAP. 45% of Afghani immigrants are on SNAP. 52% of Senegalese immigrants are on SNAP. Yeah. We are redistributing the wealth away from productive Americans to foreigners and subsidizing their way of life. And that is unacceptable. And I'll tell you the truth, Carl. In 2024, there was a big tent coalition because of President Trump that voted away mass migration from the southern border. But in 2026, there's going to be an even bigger tent that says any type of immigration, whether it's legal or illegal, it has to stop. You cannot come into our country, impose your belief system, and force us to pay for your way of life.
Amen.
Okay. By the way, if you're watching this, folks, and you live in America and you have a job, you're paying for this.
Yep.
I just want you to know this.
Yep.
So I know, it's not like everybody that watches PBD podcast agrees with us, or you're on our side, or this or that, or some of you guys watch it because you can't stand what we stand for. You can't stand what we stand for, and I respect the hell out of you. They still continue watching this stuff, but odds are those who watch our content have jobs, because it's so annoying to listen to us if you don't have a job. Can you imagine? I cannot imagine sitting there watching this show if you don't have a job or if you don't contribute to society. How long could you take that? Why are you putting yourself through that, right? So what's the point? So we may disagree. Well, Israel, Muslim, Islam. But you definitely are a worker if you watch this podcast. If you're working, you live in America, you're funding this. Are you okay with that? That percentage? Yes? You wonder why a lot of people are sitting there saying, what the hell are you doing? Did you hear Cuomo this morning losing it? Talking about what happened to the Democratic Party? Talking about what happened to you guys, and what things people did. You wonder why people are sick of. Tom, you good? Were you doing something? Did you hear that? No. Oh, yeah. You wonder why people are just, some of the stuff that's going on and they're sick of it. There's a reason for it, because it's becoming more radical. That's it. Okay, look at this. He's talking about the Democrats are forced and are choosing to join the extreme left without calling them out. Go ahead, Rob.
Your party. You're killing your party. And look, I hope it works out for you. I hope you guys splinter off and become, whatever you really are. Because you're not a capitalist and you're not a Democrat. And, you could say, well, what do you know? I was raised by a real one. I was raised by a real one. Go ahead and criticize Mario Cuomo. No, what's going to be your biggest insult?
Oh, gee.
That he spawned me and Andrew? Is that going to be the best you have? Because you ain't shit compared to him. Not in terms of intelligence, not in terms of success, not in terms of pedigree, not in terms of philosophy, not in terms of mission, not in terms of eloquence, not in terms of charisma, not in terms of anything. Certainly not electability. You are killing your party because you are not a real one. Because you're doing what's good for you in a vacuum. With your little social media following,
when he says you're killing your party, though, isn't he? He's a Democrat, so he's killing our party.
He is officially a free agent, and he considers himself an independent. Is what he considers himself. He's one of those that left the Democratic Party and became independent. I believe.
When did this? If you
remember, he didn't vote for Kamala.
No, I know he didn't. But when do you think this happened?
Right after the CNN stuff with his brother, and he walked him when he went through the whole bad, season that he was at it. No, that was a season. But Brandon, how are you processing all of this yourself?
So I think a good way to think about it in regards to the SNAP payment stuff, I mean, like if everybody hates paying taxes, but when you get taxed, just imagine 70% of that goes to people who might not even be part of the country, people who don't work by choice because they know that they have entitlements coming to them. So, I mean, how productive is that for a country that wants to be the best possible country if 70% of the money that gets taken from us just gets thrown to people who are going to spend it on frivolous things that don't work, that are perfectly capable of working? It's like, I don't find that good or optimal. I think one of the saddest things in the world is wasted potential, and there's an infinite amount of wasted potential for the United States. Like, think about where we could be if we treated the money, like the tax revenue of the country, the way that like a business treats investment money. If you're spending it towards good return on investment things instead of just like making it a marketing pitch to attract people from other countries to come here and leech off of us so that a certain party could stay in power. That's how I'm processing that. And then with the Cuomo stuff, I don't think he's a complete independent yet. Just like his brother, I don't think he's completely independent, even though he's running as an independent. I think that, like, he started off trying to run as a Democrat in the primary, but I know we'll get into that later. But that's what I think of the.
You don't think Cuomo? You don't think Andrew Cuomo is a capitalist?
He doesn't act like one the way that he runs the city.
The way he runs the city? Or
yeah, when he was
state?
governor.
Oh, the state, you mean? The way he
right.
the state.
I mean the state.
Well, I mean, he was pro having Amazon come in and bringing those 25,000 jobs. He was pro for some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think what I'm getting from them right now is how far left the Democratic Party is going, and they don't know what to do. Okay, meaning, like the 60 Minutes lady asked him comparing Trump to Zohran Mamdani. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
Oh, man.
Saying, well, a lot of people are saying it's like, and then Trump had to put in the plug to say, but I'm better looking. I don't know did you catch that or no? Go ahead, Rob.
I love it.
Zohran Mamdani, 34-year-old Democratic socialist. He's the front
communist, not socialist, communist. He's far worse than a socialist.
Some people have compared him to a left-wing version of you, charismatic, breaking the old rules. What do you think about that?
Well, I think I'm a much better looking person than him,
right?
No, Rob, you don't have the rest?
No, that was where it cut off.
Oh, no, we got to get the rest because it's a whole exchange. Rob cuts it off when it says good looking. Rob wanted to make sure we emphasize that he is a better looking guy. No, but he continues to go in and explaining what's going on with the whole thing between the two. You need the one that's more than 16 seconds. Yeah. It's funny. Everything that they have is 16 seconds because everybody just
thing.
No, you have to watch the rest of it. By the way, so the whole thing was 73 minutes. Okay, the whole interview was 73 minutes long. 60 Minutes only put up 27 minutes of it.
So it's false advertising all the way
I don't know
around.
if it's false advertising, but you only have that much anyways to put up. It's not like with cable TV is different than podcasts.
Yeah,
with podcasts, you can put the whole thing. With cable TV, you only have, by the way, typically it's 26 minutes, so they lost a minute of ad time if you think about it. So, but yeah, he talked about Mamdani. Rob, it shouldn't be hard to find it when you go to it. Somewhere there, it's...
If you type communist,
it's fairly in the beginning parts of it when they're talking about it. And the reason why I wanted to show this is because tomorrow they're deciding who's going to be it. Okay, and the numbers came in. Is this it, Rob?
This is a whole interview.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute. I'll
no
find
problem.
it.
So New York City early voting ends with 735,000 ballots cast as younger voters surge. Okay, in the New York City race has taken place. 735,000, making the highest early in-person turnout ever for a non-presidential election in New York. Sunday, the final day of early voting, saw 150,000 early voters, the most of any day since the polls opened, and more voters under 35 than in the first weekend combined, according to the data from City Board of Elections. That brought the median age of early in-person voters down to 50. Turnout among younger age group lagged in early in 1 week with about 80,000 people under 35 from Sunday to Thursday. That number jumped from Friday to Sunday with over 100,000 voters under the age of 35 casting ballots, including more than 45,000 on Sunday. More than 4 times as many early ballots were cast in this year's closely watched mayoral race, in which Mamdani, the Democratic nominee, leads his two rivals, Cuomo and Sliwa, rivals, as the last mayoral race in 2021. The election first mayor race, New York City, where early voting was an option, saw approximately 170,000. So, Rob, did you find a part where they're speaking? Rob, did you find it or not yet?
I found a portion of it. I'm not sure if it's the right portion because they bring up Mamdani twice in here. This one's about Bill de Blasio, the portion.
No, it's the other one. So, Tom, what do you think is going to be happening? Matter of fact, Vinny, I'm going to come to you.
Okay, well,
with Zohran Mamdani.
I think he's going to win, Pat. But I was on the internet. I was articles. I was up till midnight yesterday, and I saw a clip. And I know, Rob, you're looking for something, but on Sunday morning at 1 a.m., this is just the character of who this guy is and what his belief is. You guys have to pay attention. At 1 a.m., he was at a gay nightclub called Papi Juice, literally pimping himself for votes, okay? The same guy that pushes...
Papi Juice?
Papi Juice.
Like Jews?
Jews.
Jewish people?
Juice, like Hugo.
Oh, Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah, Papi
And Papi,
Juice.
P-A-P-I.
Okay.
This is... So, Rob, just go ahead and play
we're not going
this
there.
is him, Pat, pimping out. And mind you, same guy that puts the Sharia law. They're extremely intolerant towards gay people. And in Uganda, the biggest anti-gay... in the world, they say Uganda's number one on how they treat gay people with voting and beating them. And play. This is him at a gay nightclub at 1 o'clock. Play this clip.
Are we ready to beat Andrew Cuomo?
Yes.
Are we ready to win? We can afford?
Yes. Yes.
Are we ready to make history? Let's go out there and do it. Thank you, my friends.
Now, even me, Tommy, I felt victim, and I was like,
They
you
don't
know
understand.
what? Ready for
They
this?
don't get it.
I was like, what a fraud. I was gonna go that angle. What a fraud. What all this turning his back on Islam. But let me be clear to everybody out there: he's not turning his back on everything. He's practicing something. And Tom, I know you know this because we talked about it. Something called taqiyya. All right, it's a concept in Islam that allows Muslims to deceive or to hide their beliefs if it helps protect Islam or advance their agenda. Okay.
Correct.
And guess what?
Right in the
This is
Quran.
what, guys, it's right in the Quran. And do not be he's duping all of you, okay? Because in 40 to 50 years, New York is going to be completely Muslim. They're going to have Sharia courts and all that stuff. I'm telling you, it's coming. Look what's happening in Europe, okay? It's already happening. New York has been completely duped, and the devil is having a field day in the city that never sleeps, okay? And you know what? Everybody's warning you guys. Nobody's listening because, and here's the thing, Tom. You guys are assuming that Mamdani's God is the same as your God. It's not. Okay, it's not the same God. They assume that Mamdani's God tells you not to lie. It's not. They tell him to lie if it benefits their faith, Pat. And you even said Barack Hussein Obama, a fellow Muslim, called him and they had that conversation on the phone. And would you believe this, Pat? No joke. If a couple weeks after 9/11, I told you, right, and with all the craziness, that at one day New Yorkers were going to elect a foreign-born Muslim dude who was anti-cop and took photos smiling in a mosque with a co-conspirator of the first World Trade bombing. Would you guys ever have believed me? Okay? No. And then this gets even better, Pat. Jeremy Corbyn, Rob, can you bring that up? A British politician who's a member of parliament since 1983 is phone banking for Mamdani yesterday. Tom, did you see this? Phone banking. For anyone that doesn't know what it is, he's campaigning volunteers, making calls for voters, persuading them to mobilize, getting them to vote. By the way, how is that not Russia? Everybody always talks about Israel, which we all talk about in AIPAC. Why aren't you guys upset about this? This is a freaking foreign member of parliament promoting this freaking guy, okay? Because they want us to fall just like Europe fall. So let me ask you guys, how is that not election interference, Russia collusion, and all that? Do not be duped. This guy is a freaking fraud. And I mean, guys, I see the numbers, Tom, with all the percentages, and you're going to do it. You guys still have a chance. New Yorkers, you still have a freaking vote. You can go out there tomorrow and say, okay, I get it. Cuomo is not the choice. Cuomo and all the people in the nursing homes, I get it. But you have no idea what you're about to get. Buyer's remorse beyond that. This guy's God is not your God. He is deceiving your ass because he wants your vote. And watch what's going to happen to New York in 30 years.
That's right. You've got 24 hours. They got 24 hours for people that are citizens and are legally registered to vote to find other citizens that might not have voted. Remember, turnout is everything.
Yes.
You have people that are registered to vote, legal to vote, able to vote, and sometimes the turnout is like, well, I had to go to work. Get together with friends. If you didn't vote early, then go to the polls tomorrow. Pack 4 of you in a car. Yep. Go spend your lunch hour. Get in line and vote. Vote legally with ID. Do what you're supposed to do. Help an older person that's registered to vote get to the polls.
Pat, it's not. Have you think about it? Real talk. It's not, guys. It hasn't voted. You guys, you still have a chance. I don't believe in this. Too late. Too late.
I don't know if that's the best for New York, though. If Cuomo wins, to be honest.
But Brandon,
I really don't know.
Tell us why.
Tell me why.
Because New York is like a star athlete or somebody who's like the best at what they did. That became a drug addict. That became addicted to bad policies and. Cuomo's not going to do a single productive thing for the city. He's not going to make it better at all. It's in a pathetic state right now. Sadly, it could be a great place. It used to be like the pillar of America, our proudest city, the greatest city in the world. Cuomo's not going to do anything to make it better. And Mamdani's going to make it like a scary bad, like horribly bad. So I see it as like New York's the drug addict. Cuomo's like heroin, Mamdani's like fentanyl, and maybe New York needs to be scared straight. I hope they could survive Mamdani and get scared straight to the point where they realize their wrongdoing and reverse it.
But Brandon, are you willing to let the saying, the lesser of the two evils? Are you willing to let this evil go in? Because I'm telling you right now, Brandon, it's happening in Minnesota. It's happening there. You're like, bro, look across the pond. There's an example of exactly what's happening. This guy is. By the way, did you see the ad, Rob? You saw the ad, Adam? Play this ad. This is, by the way, an American guy that's running for mayor. These are his ads for New Yorkers. Go ahead.
أنا اسمي زهران ممداني وعم رشح حالي ليكون العمدة الجديد في مدينة نيويورك.
Got it.
بعرف شو عم تفكروا، شكلي كأني صهركم من الشام، بس العربي تبعي بده شوية شغل. مع هيك أنا حابب اليوم أطلب دعمكم يوم 4 نوفمبر. العيشة بنيويورك صارت غالية للكل. ازيك يا باشا؟ كل شيء تمام؟ وصار صعب نعيش فيها ونربي أولاد. أنا كعمدة
Possibly the greatest smile in politics.
Do you pause it? The greatest smile?
He's got the greatest smile in politics.
So Brandon, and I'm genuinely asking, would you rather have this guy, because you know, by then, Brandon, he's anti-cop, anti-this, anti-all that stuff, anti-America, communist. You'd rather have him be in than Cuomo, who made mistakes, by the way, who has a tarnished record, but he's a Christian. And I'm telling you right now, Brandon, this is not good, bro.
No.
Well, I don't think this is the same Cuomo. I think what happened when he left office, what happened under COVID, how can it not change you? And what we know of Chris, and when you look at Chris, and I agree, Chris is a free agent. Listen to the passion that's in Chris's voice. Listen to his monologues, his sort of talking point memo. And I know that phrase belongs to somebody else, but listen to what he's saying. My hope is that this is a different Andrew Cuomo with moderation. Now, is he all the way over with all the things that I believe and all the things that I feel in tax? Of course not. Cuomo and I would sit back here and debate back and forth on a lot of different policies. But is he the same guy that was in office?
I do get what Brandon
is
saying, though. You got to realize there's a few different things here. Let's kind of look at it.
And I'm making a bet.
One, you're from New York.
Yes.
So you have stories, affinity to the city. You love the city.
My family's still there. My aunt's
you're a
still there.
diehard Yankees fan.
Big time.
Okay, diehard Yankees fan, right? Tom, who his team is from Brooklyn.
If we're going to be real, the Brooklyn
and he knows that.
Dodgers.
So deep down inside, there's an underlying, like, hey, thank you, New York, for giving us the Dodgers to come to us. But Tom, who has seen this thing over the years in politics in a different way. Brandon, who has nothing to lose with New York City.
I know.
Nothing.
I love New York.
I didn't say you don't love New York. I love New York. But to see a case study of what could happen to that state if a Mamdani gets elected, where you almost need to say it. I think it was George Will that said, every 20 years or so, every 10 years or so, we need to get somebody elected to show that socialism doesn't work, that these ideas don't work. So maybe you're coming from that standpoint. Maybe that's where your position is.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, on what happens here with New York City and what we're talking about, this is the exchange on 60 Minutes that they had with Mamdani when she's saying, hey, you have the same charisma, same charm. No, I'm better looking. Rob, are you starting it after that part?
Right after that part.
Okay, go for it.
The old rules. What do you think about that?
Well, I think I'm a much better looking person than him, right?
Right.
Well, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who you know is campaigning for mayor,
Here we go.
he recently said that if Mamdani becomes mayor of New York City, that you will take over New York. Cuomo said this. He said he will be President Trump and Mayor Trump. He's going to take over New York and send tanks down Fifth Avenue.
Oh, that's so crazy. Look, when I left New York, we were at the epitome of it was a great city. It was doing great. It was a great city, but there was some bad signs because we had a guy named de Blasio who was the worst mayor. Like I say, Biden was the worst president. De Blasio was the worst mayor.
But what if Mamdani becomes mayor?
It's going to be hard for me as the president to give a lot of money to New York. Because if you have a communist running New York, all you're doing is wasting the money you're sending there. So I don't know that he's won, and I'm not a fan of Cuomo one way or the other, but if it's going to be between a bad Democrat and a communist, I'm going to pick the bad Democrat all the time, to be honest with you.
This past Tuesday, while speaking to American troops in Japan, you talked about U.S. cities. They're having trouble.
Pause it right there. By the way, so then Mamdani posed Trump for Cuomo, and he gets a phone call by a guy you guys may recognize, a guy named Obama. Barack Hussein Obama, right? He calls Mamdani to praise his campaign and offers to be a sounding board. This is New York Times. Rob, is this the story of that?
Yes, this is ABC 7 News in New York covering that call.
Covering the fact that Obama called him. Go for it.
ABC News has learned former President Barack Obama called mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani today. We are told Obama praised Mamdani's campaign and offered to be a sounding board in the future. This was the second phone conversation between the two men, and they discussed potentially meeting after the election. We are awaiting.
That's it.
But he didn't say, I'll be in Central Park speaking to people, and he didn't say, I'm going to endorse you.
No.
So apparently it's a 5-minute call that they had.
No, and he's actually going to be in New Jersey. He's campaigning for the Democrat candidate for New York today.
Governor,
yes.
Yeah, governor. So the phone call, 30-minute call, they talked, but then afterwards, when everybody was waiting from Obama to tweet out, can you go to Obama's account? Now, by the way, that doesn't mean Obama may not tweet today.
Yeah.
But today would somewhat be a little bit late. But instead, Obama recognized the Dodgers. Okay, go a little bit lower. And there is no Mamdani. He's campaigning for, is that the Virginia one or which one?
New
That's
Jersey.
Okay, go to, and then he was also campaigning for the Virginia one. Go a little bit lower. Yeah, you see nothing there about Mamdani. So the question becomes, if he doesn't, it still isn't too late for him to endorse Mamdani. If he isn't, why isn't he, Tom?
I think, well, first of all, we know he just had the worst political year of his life. He's used to the big crowds. He's used to not really being tested by policy. There's a lot of enthusiasm and euphoria that was in his campaigns. And last year, he didn't move the needle at all.
He didn't touch
and
the
he
needle.
took the L.
Yeah.
And so I think he's not endorsing it because I think there is a group of core establishment Democrats, Pat, that don't want this guy. I think the AOC side wants it. There's people over there want it, but there's some core establishment Democrats that don't want this guy because I think they know exactly what's about to happen, and they've been going to boomerang safety training.
So what was that phone call? Honestly, what is the phone call? You have a 30-minute call with Mamdani. You're Mamdani. You have the call with Obama. What ask are you making? Your ask is what?
You're going to be in New
endorsement.
Jersey. Come with me. Hold up your hand with me, and let's do a speech.
Role play. What are the chances that Mamdani asked Obama for support on that 30-minute call?
100%.
Okay. What is Obama's answer? I'm going to say it. Role play with me. President Obama, obviously I've always been a big fan. You go down as the greatest president of my generation. And what would it take for me to get your endorsement?
Am I Obama?
You're Obama.
What would it take to get the endorsement? Well, I think there's a lot of things going on here, and there's a lot of places I'm going. I'm spread really out with everything I'm doing in Virginia and
spread out.
Then New Jersey and everything like that. Michelle, I need another pack of Salems, and I'm working through all this. And
you think that's the answer?
I think.
And by the way,
give
me that. Keep role playing, and I say. I totally understand.
I know what you want. You want me in Central Park with you on the bandstand.
I would love that, but if not, can I at least get a tweet from you? You don't think he asked that?
Yep. I don't know how.
What do you say for your Obama? Give me the answer.
I don't know how I spin that.
That's the point. Give me the answer.
What do I have to gain?
So
I think you'd say, what do I have to gain?
So if you can't be in town, then can you at least give me a tweet and give me support?
I think, Pat, he's giving Mamdani credibility with the left, but he's keeping his distance just in case things go bad. It's classic Obama. He's playing both sides, but he doesn't want to take the hit. He's being presidential, but he doesn't want to take the hit because they could go really, really bad. He doesn't want his stamp of approval because, Pat, they have no idea. They have no idea what a communist is going to do to the greatest city.
What did Obama say if Mamdani asked for the endorsement? How do you say no if you're Obama?
So what do I have to gain? I think he would say that because what does he have to gain? It's two Democrats. Why does he care which Democrat wins?
No, he's not a Cuomo guy.
Not at all.
You think he dislikes Cuomo?
Oh, him and Cuomo are not on the same page.
For sure.
No way.
I agree.
I don't think so.
But
He
it's
may.
it's not like Cuomo's a Republican, though, by any means.
He's not a Republican.
No,
but
Cuomo and the Clintons are tight. That makes you a little bit. It's not MAGA, but it's different wings of that party.
I think Mamdani was like, Barack, we're both Muslim. Hook it, come on. Barack Hussein Obama. No, that's it. Hold on. Oh yeah, Barack Obama's a Christian. Like I'm a Buddhist. He was like, hey, kifak habibi. He's like, kifak. He probably did the accent.
I am simply wondering.
Muslim.
Either Obama said, I'm gonna tweet something out on the morning of Tuesday. Okay. So none of this conversation is taking place.
Yeah.
Either he's gonna do a surprise last-minute visit. Okay. Which you don't do a 30-minute call. You don't make that 30-minute call without expressing support.
Yep.
Either there's going to be a massive surprise something of him showing up and a surprise tweet video that shows up, or Obama said something, and I'd love to know what Obama said. I'd love to know what Obama would say to him to reject him and say no. And because nothing's been brought up, nothing's been said. I mean, think about it. What's her name? Kamala Harris wrote a book called 107 Days. And in the book, she says, we reached out to my Democrat peers to get support. And when I texted, Newsom responded back with saying, I'm hiking. I'll get back to you. And he never called me back. Did you guys hear about this? I'm hiking. And then Newsom was asked about this. Rob, do you have this when Newsom's asked about it? I don't know if you have it where Newsom's asked about it.
This is great.
And
That's amazing.
Do you have that clip or no? Newsom's asked about it. I texted it to myself. Let me try to find it. Newsom's asked about it, and he's like, no, that's not true. He says, so did that happen? Did it happen where, she did reach out? Yeah, she did reach out. What happened? We were the first state. I was the first governor to endorse Kamala. And, she's just playing games. There's no hard feelings. We have so much respect for each other. We've known each other. That's the one right there, Rob. Yeah, right there. Let's talk about it. It's only 100 something. Yeah, that's the one right there. But you're going to have to.
We both jumped Willie Brown.
Go a minute ahead. Go about a minute ahead. Go from right there. Go ahead.
I think needs still a little bit more forensics, a little more analysis.
Do you think if former President Biden had stayed in the race, given that you did stay with him till virtually the end, do you think he could have won?
I think the prevailing winds.
Fast forward.
There were a lot of headwinds. Phone surrogacy.
Fast forward.
For people of poverty around moving the aggregate disconnect.
This is the interview, but this is not.
She scrambled to
right
reach.
Here.
Challenging election.
In her book, the former vice president writes that she scrambled to reach prominent Democrats.
Show me where you're at, Rob.
Hours after President Biden exited the race. And she said that you responded to her call, quote, by saying, Gavin Newsom hiking will call back. He never did. Is that what happened?
100%. And I sent out an endorsement in a few minutes after that. It was one of her first endorsements. The reason she was calling. I've known Kamala all my life. The last person she needs to reach out to is me. Oh my. So I learned the news. I wanted to get in touch with the Biden folks. I was out on an actual hike. And I said, I was like, Kamala, you got 1 million people to call. And we were literally working as she reached out. It was a voicemail, by the way, unknown number for the record.
Oh, God.
And as she was on to her next calls, we were already on to our press release endorsing her. So I don't even know why I was even in the book.
Did you feel like she took a swipe at you in her book?
It's all good. We've known each other for 20 years, and I think it's familiarity. I think she was having a little fun.
So no hard feelings.
Meaning she was just using this in the book to create controversy, to sell more copies of books. That's what she's saying. Because you know why? I think the part that people don't give him enough credit is you have to believe him when he says how much he hates liars, Rob. I mean, if he says, Rob, can you do me a favor? Vinny, you're laughing as if you don't believe him. He said in the same interview how much he can't stand politicians. Is this the one, Rob?
Yep.
And you have to believe him if he says something like that. So the interview on the left is him with Kirk, and then watch what happens. Go ahead.
Not one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx.
So can we finally put that to bed?
Yeah,
we agree.
But where did that even?
No more Latinx, everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from. I'm like, what are people talking about? Impactful this has been on the Latinx community. Latinx community politicians are banning not assault rifles, but the word Latinx.
7.
Nothing I dislike more than the politician that sits there and lies to you, and we all just sit there rolling our eyes, going, "Give me a break." Not one.
He is so
You think
amazing.
he's lying?
Oh my God!
Who would you say is the biggest liar in politics? Governor and heavyweight. Is he in the top 5?
Oh,
my gosh.
He's a phenom. He's the GOAT.
Guys, he just said he doesn't like politicians who lie.
He's the flag carrier of the liars.
So either what he's saying to the world is, because what words did he use? I don't like politicians who lie. So maybe what he's saying is he doesn't like himself.
He hates himself.
Exactly.
He
Technically
really,
not a lie.
He
hate myself.
really doesn't
I
like
hate
himself.
I love how he goes, he's like, this is this new thing. Because all this stuff is old. Because, Pat, I'm not joking. Every single thing that comes out of his mouth is a lie. So when you know that, if you do, like, for instance, watch this, Brendan.
Yeah.
Tell me if you're paying attention to the lies. Watch this. I'm black. I'm tall.
I'm captivated
rich,
by your hands.
I'm rich. I work for Fox. Like, it's all, you're not even paying attention. He does this, and this is when he's, like, really serious. He is one of the most Pat, I remember a while ago, I was like, he might be a sociopath. I was kind of throwing out the word, but in this past 6 months, Tommy, because he's so in our face and he's doing all these interviews. I'm going to put him up there.
He's number one in my book. I have a leaderboard on this.
He's a slithering, lying.
He's now number one.
He is and Pat, I really don't think when you're a sociopath, he believes what he's saying. Like when he does really the politicians, he doesn't know that we know, and I just hope.
We know what you know. You think we don't know,
think
but
we don't
know it.
Yeah, he is. And again, I made it my freaking job for the next 4 years. Every time he says something, because I want people to know, like, do not be deceived. The same thing that's happening with Mamdani, this guy is going to be the front runner, and I want you guys, and I love that all the clips are going to come out. Please do not be deceived. He's the guy. That's the guy. That's a slithering snake. And the first order of business will be to open the border because he's the guy that said make it illegal for asking for an identification to vote in California.
Well, he's my number one. He just passed Karine Jean-Pierre, who was on my who previously was the GOAT. And
Karine Jean-Pierre.
Did I pronounce the last name wrong?
Pierre.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead. He's
it's
the
not
one.
Liar?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
So, and Rob, what clip is this, Rob?
This is just a video to Vinny's point about the hand gestures. There was a report out that people are concerned about the use of Gavin Newsom's hands in interviews, specifically this one with ABC News, Jonathan Karl. I can just play it at double speed and go through, but you guys can see the guy is just, it looks like he's trying to land an airplane with the amount of, the amount of hand gesturing that he does throughout the entire interview.
Because, and look, guys, when he's doing that, are you really paying attention to his mom? Like, do you take that seriously?
Somebody told him that this creates a distraction.
Boom, boom, boom. Left, right.
I don't think he takes himself seriously, but he iterates.
Like, I'm not even. What is he even talking about?
That's my concern. The more we're talking about.
Look at his hands.
What he's doing with massive look what he's doing federalizing the guard. Look what he's doing intimidating and voter suppression.
He's so good.
He's
so good.
Are they really saying that this article with him using hand gestures is like a concern of the Daily Mail is?
Yeah.
I don't
look,
think smoke and mirrors.
The best speakers tend to be more using their body when they speak. And he is a very animated speaker with the way he does. I don't see anything in it. The part about him saying the fact that he can't stand politicians who lie, give me a flipping break, buddy. Anyways, let's go talk about what's happening in Nigeria. President Trump says he's ordered Pentagon to prepare for possible action in Nigeria. So, Rob, I think you got a clip on this one here. U.S. President Trump said Saturday that he ordered the Defense Department to prepare for possible military action in Nigeria as it continues to accuse the nation of not doing enough to stir violence against Christians, an accusation Nigeria has repeatedly denied in a social media post criticizing what he called the mass slaughter of Christians in the country. Trump wrote the United States would immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and warned the government there to move fast. In the lengthy message, Trump said the U.S. may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. Is this the tweet?
Yep.
Yeah, Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter, and I'm hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern, but that is the least of it. When Christians or any other such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide, something must be done. I'm asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and report back to me. The U.S. cannot stand by while these atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous countries around. Tom, thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you. It took way too long for a U.S. president, and we finally had it, to admit and talk about the Armenian genocide.
Yep.
And we have seen Darfur ignored as innocent Christians, farmers were slaughtered in that area. And now this has been going on here. You know, I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it's a country of interest, and that there's something that is going to be done to let people know that we don't care where you are. And even if you're not strategically significant, Vinny,
yes,
and even if you don't have oil or gold or aluminum, bauxite, or rare earth minerals, lithium, even if you don't have those things, but if you have those things, we'll be right over.
Yeah, of
see
course,
you in a minute,
course.
right? Yeah. Domino's Pizza, 30 minutes. Here we go. But instead, it takes so long to get to certain countries that we just kind of ignore that if they were of more strategic or minerals or natural resource importance, you'd get there. But I'm very, very glad to see that Trump is not going to ignore this the way previous presidents ignored Darfur. And Trump is saying now, I'm concerned about this, and this isn't going to stand. And who knows what the actual move's going to be. But when he said, not that I'm sending Witkoff over to have a discussion and give him a letter that says we're really upset. Instead of that, he's saying, no, I told the Pentagon to prepare for possible action. You know who he's speaking to?
Who?
He's talking to the tin hat dictator in Nigeria. That's who he's talking to.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm just very curious, Patrick, because these are black lives, correct? The tens of thousands of... Where's Black Lives Matter? Like, is it just me, or is it only black lives that are... criminals
well, this
on
is
drug.
Black Christian Lives Matter, and you have to read the fine print because maybe that makes a difference.
So no burning down the city, no T-shirts, no murals, no none of that BS that they're all being exposed. Everybody that was in charge of BLM, they're all corruption and jail and all that stuff. Where are you at? Where's all the outrage? It drives me crazy, the hypocrisy, but Pat, if this goes through and he actually intervenes, that's going to be on one of my number ones, that finally somebody's sticking up for the Christians. Please, if anybody's out there that's listening that could get to Trump, that would be the number one thing, because he's in there. And you saw that priest, Pat? He's sitting there, and God bless him. He's sitting there in the middle of the church that was burned down. There's dead bodies outside, and they're still praising Jesus Christ. Still praising Jesus Christ. Do you want to talk about faith over fear? That's the faith over fear. He's basically like, what? Like, we're going to stop singing? Like, we're going to stop praising? I love it, and I hope that goes through, Pat. That'd be my number one for him.
And this is a huge country, 230 million people. Japan's only 135, 140, something like that. This is a huge country, a lot of humanity here.
Yep.
And somebody's finally standing up saying, go.
And let's go, Tom. I want
Brandon.
it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing the selective sympathy that we have when all these wars are happening, like with the Ukraine situation. Every single person in Congress is wearing a Ukraine pin.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. And whether it's Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Gaza, I've always said from the time those things started, there's like atrocities going on all over the world. And so when the media and the government's telling you to be really focused on one atrocity, it's never just out of the goodness of their hearts, because there's something that they want, an objective with that. And with this, it just so happens that maybe there's not an objective that they see they can obtain if we tackle this issue. But so I'm glad that Trump is doing this up from like a humanity standpoint, because that's really what it is. I think maybe past presidents didn't see it a way that was useful to them to address this. But yeah, it's really been disregarded for at least 10 years now. There's been like 52,000 Christians killed in Nigeria. And, it goes back to like the Hotel Rwanda stuff. Like Africa's a crazy place, and all kinds of atrocities happen there.
And I love that you said that, because listen, there's nothing to gain. No oil, no nothing, no gold. Just save these freaking people, bro. They're Christian. We help everybody else. Take a time out. We're bombing boats. We're doing this, and I love good. Keep doing it. But go and help them out, bro.
Yeah, send a drone over there to just
hover
over them.
Yeah, just something, bro. They need us, man. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, listen, respect for him for doing that.
Love it.
But you have to also realize that is a reaction of people being in his ear. That is a reaction of people saying, hey, we got to do something about this. And then, of course, he's the final decision maker saying, yes, let's do something with it and let's go with it. So good for them. Yeah. And good for the folks in Nigeria that they're getting something like this happening for them. Now, let's go to the next story. Next story is the Overton window speed run. Folks, this is a very interesting story. British voters now more right-wing on immigration than Americans.
Weird.
What? More right-wing than Americans on immigration? Let me read this to you. British voters across the political spectrum are now more likely to hold strong views on immigration and even ethnic homogeneity than Americans, with 70% of right-wing voters saying it's bad for society if white people decline as a share of the population. Britons have long been considered to be comfortably to the left of the American cousins on particularly all political matters, which this remains largely true. New research shows that Britons from both the left and the right are considerably more forthright than their American counterparts on immigration policy questions. Voters for British right-wing parties are radically more likely to agree with statements such as, it is bad for society if white people decline as a share of the population, and society is weakened by being made up of different races, ethnicities, and religions, the polling finds. The remarkable results come from a preview of forthcoming papers by the National Center of Social Research entitled UK and US Attitudes, two sides of the same coin, trailed in finance-focused British globalist center-left publications. The Financial Times, the organization took questions already well polled and understood by the U.S. pollsters and asked exactly the same of British respondents, given a realistic side-by-side comparison. Tom, thoughts on this?
So first of all, I think just to recap real quick, the Overton window is the range of things that you can talk about. Basically, you think about it that way. Just think of it. It's a range of things you can talk about that people will say, yeah, we can talk about that. That's true. And for instance, the Overton window has moved on trans, right? Yeah. Used to be you can't even criticize them or you'll get canceled and everything like this. Vaccines, Overton window moves. Well, what they're saying here is the Overton window is moving on immigration, that the majority of people being liberal saying immigration is okay. Now the window is moved and they say speed run, it's happening fast. Why is it happening fast? It's happening fast because the British voters are moving in what's acceptable to talk about and what they're talking about. The Overton window's moving fast. Speed run, because what they're saying is exactly this. They're saying, whoa, wait. Now we have all these Muslim mayors. Now we've got rape gangs. Now we've got these problems. Now we've got things going on. Hang on a second. I get it now. This is bad. And so now people say to their neighbor says, yeah, this is bad. And another neighbor says, this is bad. All of a sudden they go up, boom, the Overton window wakes up and they say this. Okay, well, let's calm down. We're all very emotional about this, but do you think that the immigration policy is really a good idea? Do you think that this was okay to take those boats all coming over at Gibraltar, wherever they're coming over in, and just dumping people? Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think it's a good idea that this is what's happening to our mayors? Do you think it's a good idea? That's what's happening in the UK right now. And it's bad, and they're going to have a tough time turning it. But are we, as America, Pat, my point, are we paying attention? This doesn't end well. It's the same thing when they tried to bring socialist policies over here to America, and the Republicans that were up against Clinton at the time, when we were talking about healthcare and stuff, were pointing over to Greece and people like that and saying, this guy wants to bring, Bill and Hillary want to bring socialist policies over here. Go look at what's happening in Greece. Go look what's happening in austerity programs. It doesn't work. We have 20 years of data to show it doesn't work. That's what we've got here. America, we've got data here. Go take a look at what's happening in the UK. It doesn't end well.
Yeah. And by the way, this guy who is running for, Rob, can you pull up this tweet? Can you pull up this tweet about the Somalian guy? I just texted it to you. Yeah. He posts out a tweet. Everybody starts tagging me. Pat, look what phrase he's using. He's saying the future is bright. And I say, not with you, buddy. And
I love it.
Yeah, and then if you go into the comment section where people criticize my comments, let me just show some of them because people were not happy. They said, not with you either, right? This was me interviewing Bibi. And then on the bottom, I respond to that guy, say, we don't discriminate. We talk to anyone. Only podcasts that Bibi and Fuentes on within 4 weeks of each other. Enjoyed both conversations. And then the next one is, come on, you'd be happy if Somalians bought 1 million Future Looks Bright hats. I love that. I respond back, only if they love America and what it stands for, not if they want to turn it into the country they escaped from. Next one, you're an immigrant, bro. No matter how much money you make, you'll never be white. An immigrant who carries the flag of America first. Very different type of immigrant. By the way, the other guy was actually born in America. He's actually, he's carrying the Somalian flag.
But he's born here.
While he's born in D.C. This guy's carrying the Somalian flag while he's born in D.C. So I don't know if America's fully going to get it anytime soon, Tom. I think when I talk to people and I go on podcasts and this topic comes up and people bring up and they say, whoa, what about this and what about that and what about this? I'm like, look, when it comes down to these types of issues, there's a very different story of what happens on how they live versus how we live, okay? Americans, we don't marry each other's families, right? Maybe unless if you're from West Virginia, but I'm talking for the most part.
The land that Dennis forgot.
they have a very, and I'm not talking everybody. Again, I'm talking about the 20 to 25% of who they are and what they stand for. He's talking about Mamdani, and it's so funny, Rob. I mean, it's not funny, but while he's talking about Mamdani, and he says something, you said something about
Nakia?
No, he's from what country, Rob?
Uganda.
Rob, can you do me a favor? He's from Uganda. and he went to the gay bar, right? This gay club.
It's called Papi Juice.
Yeah, which Humberto was.
Humberto was.
No, he literally sent the details of them in the podcast.
What did he say?
No, he's sending the link on their Instagram account. I'm in the middle of the podcast. I'm looking at a gay bar's Instagram account because Humberto's texting it to me.
Humberto, get
Rob,
it, boy.
Can you type in exactly the same way I typed it for you? Okay, right there. Zoom in. Watch the question. So this is Mamdani goes to a gay bar, okay? Yep. And I asked the question, is Uganda the worst country in treating members of the LGBT community? Okay? LGBTQ community.
Bad things are.
Okay? The short answer is, okay, so it's absolute worst. Okay, here are the key facts. Homosexuality is illegal in Uganda. Uganda passed an Anti-Homosexuality Act of 2023, which expanded punishments, including life imprisonment for same activity and death penalty for aggravated
What
is aggravated?
Sorry. I was aggravated, Pat.
Hang on, in America, life imprisonment leads to homosexuality.
Yeah. It's actually a good point, Tom.
Especially with Bubba in the shower and the running start.
After the law's passage, multiple reports documented increased arrest, violence, extortion, harassment, and discrimination. There are no effective legal protection. Okay, but here's the thing. Some people may say, well, that's exactly what I'm for. I'm such a conservative. I don't want any of that here. That's not what I'm debating with you. What I'm saying to you is Mamdani is here pitching and going in, talking to everybody like a grifter. Hey, I'm also okay with you guys. But if I was in charge, you guys all would be in jail. Or if it was too aggravated, I saw the way you guys were grinding each other, you'd be going through a death sentence. Okay, right. So, we'd have. But the point is, there's going to be people that fall into a few different camps. I said something yesterday. I said, Vinny, in life, this is what my experience has been. Haters are 10 times more loyal to hating you than your fans are for loving you.
I agree 100%.
The level of loyalty haters have for hating you is 10x what your hardcore fans are for supporting you. Because the difference between haters and your fans are what? Haters are not afraid of being vocal. Fans are. Let's just say secretly you're a fan of this guy, but 7 people are attacking you for saying something against Islam. This one fan is like, oh man, I don't want to get him because what if it hurts me and what if it's something? So they don't say anything. So this is going to be a very interesting race the next 30 years. The good news is, God willing, most of us will be around to witness this, to see what happens. But people 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, they're going to look back and say, man, we royally screwed up. And we had UK right in front of us to see and witness. We had EU right in front of us to see and witness. And we looked the other way.
Weird.
And we said, all right, let's go ahead and vote somebody like Mamdani in New York City. No problem. No one's going to leave New York City. Nobody will. You know that, right, Vinny?
I heard that. Somebody said that I bet you nobody's going to leave.
And by the way, you know what's the craziest thing? It's so crazy, folks, that even Vinny showed something. Vinny, if you want to talk about the Ricky Gervais, he is so deeply concerned of the people that attend his shows. Guys, imagine how much you care. How much do you care about your people? No, I'm willing to bet no one cares more about their fans than maybe Ricky Gervais. For their own safety, he posts this in the airport and the subways while people are going to his show to make sure they're safe. Go ahead, Vinny.
Welcome. So I don't know if you guys saw this. That he's selling vodka and he's telling jokes, and the mayor Sadiq Khan, where he's from, is acting like he's smuggling freaking nuclear secrets in. Like he puts up the billboard that said, "Welcome to London. Don't forget your stab vest." Which is, and Khan's office turned into the Ministry of Feelings. They said, I guess they're taking it down. I think he's saying that they're saying it's offensive, but he's taking it down. And he actually made a video as well. But I think like this is taking humor. I mean, he's selling a product, yes, but he's saying, and Rob, there was another one where he said like, you're gonna die soon anyway, or you're gonna go down into the tunnels, or there was something. He did a bunch of them, but again. The free speech and the trying to be out there and trying to be funny. But Pat, can I actually go back for 1 second? I want to go back because I sent this to Rob about what was the first thing that we were talking about England?
Overton where they're giving up on it. They're
They've
done.
given up, Pat. And I'm sorry. Like, I know it's a little bit long. We don't have to play the whole thing. This is a woman. It's so sad. I got a little emotional in my car. It really hit my soul. There's a woman in London. She calls in and she's crying out in desperation of what is happening in England. She says stuff like, there was 3 stabbings. There was a murder. My friend was murdered. Just tell me, guys, tell me you don't feel for this woman and the takeover that's happening in England. Go ahead, Rob.
I live in the borough right next to Hillingdon.
Yep.
And so I moved into my house in 2019. My local shop, there's been 3 stabbings, 1 murder since then.
Wow.
My friend was murdered last year up on the high street. Girl I know was murdered in Southall Park.
Like,
the government are failing us. I'm so scared for my children. I have a 22-year-old son, and I'm begging him to move out of the country.
Oh my goodness, I feel for you.
What are these politicians doing to us? They're putting our children in so much danger. They're putting everyone in danger, and they're not doing nothing.
What show is this that's allowing them to talk
that's the thing
about
a lot of us feel.
Talk.
You know, how many is too many?
Z.
They're pushing us to do something that we don't want to do. We are peaceful people. British people never vote against their government.
Yeah.
They're going to push us through it because they're not listening to us.
What a...
Our friends, our family are dying. I had a cousin murdered 20 years ago who was stabbed to death, and nothing's changed, Julia.
Well, this definitely isn't funny. This definitely isn't funny. So, Afghan man arrested after dog walker stabbed in frenzied attack.
Triple stabbing. And Pat, just guess what happened in England yesterday, Brandon? A guy, they call him a British man. It was an African American man. I don't know where he's from. Stabbed 11 people on the train. It's not like it's stopping, guys. And I feel for her. You tell me you can't hear the pain in her. Her 3 stabbings, a murder. Her friend was murdered. Her cousin was murdered. Walking in a park. It's like, how much more? And you talk, and the leadership, Patrick, the leadership doesn't give a shit, because if you say something, they call you racist. They call you racist.
They arrest you too.
They arrest you, Brennan. Like, even here, ICE is going after people. I'm sorry. You're illegally here. They want to get rid of you, and everybody's racist. We're all racist.
But that's what it took for.
Oh, by the way, Rob, do you have the ICE clip with 60 Minutes on President? Because he brought that up. He says, but what you're doing is with these undocumented. He says, no, you broke the law. Did you catch that part, Rob?
Very subtle. Very subtle.
He said,
slipped it in.
go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, wait, you want me to go before this?
No, go ahead. Go before this, yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what it took for people in the UK to question their government, to speak out against their government and vote differently. So, I mean, that's why I'm saying maybe that's the medicine that New York needs, because New York has been in a bad way for at least 30, 40 years, like since, I guess, Giuliani was president, or since Giuliani was mayor. So maybe Mamdani is the medicine that they need for things to get so bad that they finally change their way in thinking, because I don't think Cuomo is going to have any radical change in New York or make it better in any way.
You don't think Cuomo's going to make it any better?
Hell no.
All right, so let me ask you, who do you think will work more closely with Trump, Cuomo or Mamdani?
Cuomo.
Okay.
But what the things New York needs is they need the government to get out of the way. Like they need like a Robert Moses type to let a smart person put things in place. And like
what you're saying is that's not what you have. What you have is these 2 candidates. That's who you got right now. So out of these 2 candidates, you have to choose between one of them.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, Sliwa doesn't stand a chance of winning. Okay, he doesn't. So, Rob, this is the president talking about ICE. Rob, is this the whole thing?
Yep.
Okay, watch this when the president's talking about ICE on 60 Minutes. Go ahead.
Low. More recently, Americans have been watching videos of ICE tackling a young mother, tear gas being used in a Chicago residential neighborhood, and the smashing of car windows. Have some of these raids gone too far?
No, I think they haven't gone far enough because we've been held back by the judges, by the liberal judges that were put in by Biden and by Obama.
You're okay with those tactics?
Yeah, because you have to get the people out. You know, you have to look at the people. Many of them are murderers. Many of them are people that were thrown out of their countries because they were, criminals.
Well, you promised in your campaign that you were going to deport the worst of the worst. Violent criminals,
we're doing that.
Rapists.
Well, that's what we're doing.
But a lot of the people that your administration has arrested and deported aren't violent criminals. Landscapers, nannies, construction workers,
landscapers
farm
who are criminals.
workers.
Yeah. No, look.
The family of U.S. service members.
I need landscapers and I need farmers more than anybody, okay?
Is it your intent to deport people who do not have a criminal record?
We have to start off with a policy, and the policy has to be you came into the country illegally, you're going to go out. However, You've also seen you're going to go out, we're going to work with you, and you're going to come back into our country legally.
When will you declare mission accomplished on immigration?
Well, it takes a long time because, probably I say 25 million people were let into our country. A lot of people say it was 10 million people, but whether it was 10 or I believe I'm much closer to the right number. Of the 25, many of them should not be here. But we're cleaning up our cities. I campaigned on crime, but I've done a much better job on crime than I thought. The crime numbers are way down, even though we have a lot more people in our country that really shouldn't be here, and many of them are stone cold, hard criminals.
The president has ordered the National Guard to 5 cities: Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Portland, Chicago, and Memphis.
Okay, so he's in the right place.
This past Tuesday, while speaking to American troops in Japan, you talked about U.S. cities that are having trouble with crime, and you said, if we need more than the National Guard, we'll send
what did you
more
mean by
than
that?
the
Look what he
National
says.
Guard. What does that mean, send more than the National Guard?
Well, if you had to send in the Army or if you had to send in the Marines, I'd do that in a heartbeat. You have a thing called the Insurrection Act. You know that, right? Do you know that I could use that?
Yeah. You can
immediately.
You can pause that right there, Rob. So you hear him talking about this, right, with ICE. Now, meanwhile, while this is going on, it's important to keep in mind that what they're trying to do is Illinois passes law preventing ICE arrests in courthouses, okay? Meaning, so ICE can't go like the way they're catching people that are illegal.
Yeah.
Illinois says, no, you can't do that anymore.
Weird.
Then you can't refuse to be scanned by ICE's facial recognition app. The DHS department says you can't do that. All right. While this is going on, judge blocks Trump from requiring proof of citizenship on voter registration form. How the hell what is he supposed to do when you're going through this?
Yeah.
What is he supposed to do? Brandon, go ahead.
No, yeah, these judges are really getting in the way of this stuff in an annoying way. I just looked up. I was curious how many people have been deported or self-deported, and we're way above what initial estimates were. The initial estimates were 800,000 for this year, but it says 500,000 have been deported with an additional 1.6 million self-deportations. So I think the rate that we needed to hit was 2.5 million per year for his 4 years to get the 10 million that came into the country during Biden out. So 2 million in less than a year into the administration is a really good pace. But yeah, these judges are really getting in the way, whether it's the tariffs, whether it's the immigration stuff. And I was looking into it last night because I was wondering if the judges even have this authority to get in the way like this. And it wasn't something that was in the Constitution for them to have the ability to block the president like this. It's something that the Supreme Court assumed power to do that a couple of years after the Constitution was written. So that's something to be looked into and questioned.
And I think the thing about it, this is the president of the United States. Who do you think he talks to when it comes to immigration and numbers? Thomas Homan, right?
Yeah.
The real borders are 25 million people. And it's funny how nobody wants to complain about the people that caused the problem. You want to talk crap about the guy that's trying to fix the problem. And I'm sorry, when it comes to a blanket immigration deportation, you got everybody, because you can't just go, okay, well, you broke this, you broke that. No. Every one of you broke the law. And in that bunch of 25 million, how much would you say, Brandon, Pat? Guesstimate how many are actual criminals, meaning criminal records from over there, and have broken the law here, out of 25 million.
Maybe like 10 to 20%.
Let's say 15% in the middle. That's still a lot of people. You have to get everybody out. And again, I love what you said less than 6 months ago. You said, there should be maybe something put in place, Patrick, where it's like, let's say you've been here for 5 years. You haven't broken the law. You're paying your taxes. You said you pay a fine and you get to stay.
On a dead guy's Social Security number.
Yeah, exactly. I think there has to be, hopefully there's something in the works for down the line, but they expect everything to happen overnight. And I'm sorry, that's not how it works. This is a broken system that he didn't create, but the border has been absolutely closed, and now he's dealing with all the stuff that's in here. So he's cleaning house.
We are dealing with a outcome here, and this is called judicial activism. And judicial activism started when they couldn't get through basically Reagan or a conservative if you had the House, the Senate, and they're like, well, what the hell do we do? And they started placing these judges. If you go look at judicial activism and the rise of judicial activism in the United States, it's always been there. There's always been an annoying judge here or there. But what has happened is it's spread to the point where you have things like they have the circuits, First Circuit, Second. Do you know that the Ninth Circuit in California was coined the Ninth Circus? And it was the most overturned court in the country, regardless of the composition of the Supreme Court. Well, Supreme Court's always been kind of heavy conservative. Not always. It's been periods where it had liberal leanings, and it's been periods of
Scary
very
times.
independent. And so now this is what you got. This is judicial activism, and over the weekend, I think there's a way to deal with it. Because over the weekend, I got this book on Amazon, How to Handle Annoying Judges by Al Capone. Really a genius. It's just amazing stuff. And so I'm going to get you a copy.
You know what movie we finished? It's funny you said this. You know what movie we finished yesterday? It's a Gangster Squad with Sean Penn and
Johnny Depp?
No. Johnny Depp is
Josh Brolin?
Is a different one.
Gangster
Josh Brolin is he goes to a judge. He says, I know they got you. You better sign this $20,000. We're going to go right now to take out, Gangster Squad, which they're taking out Mickey Cohen.
Yeah.
And it was the story of a judge. But maybe they need to watch Mickey Cohen. But watch this. There's a scene in the 60 Minutes interview, which is quite interesting, where the lady, Nora, and by the way, people forgot the 60 Minutes with the Leslie Stahl going, no, you can't say that. We're a real outlet. You can't say something like that and mix them up. This is 60 Minutes. And if you notice at the beginning of the interview, they open up with the lawsuit. That he sued the parent company. But in this part, he's talking about all this stuff. And then he takes out the countries, words that he stopped. And he used, folks, I'm not even kidding with you. The one part I'm deeply concerned is if Supreme Court doesn't allow him to use tariffs, he loses all leverage to do everything he's doing. He loses it if he can't use tariffs.
Why would they even think about doing that?
I don't know, but watch this here. Watch this here. Go ahead, Rob.
We saw the list of 8 international conflicts he says he's been able to end since returning to office.
And you have branded yourself the peace president.
Well, I think I did pretty good. I solved, those are 8 of the 9 wars I solved. How I solved them?
The one.
Said, in many cases, in 60%, I said, if you don't stop fighting, I'm putting tariffs on both of your countries, and you're not going to be able to do business with the United States.
Why isn't that working with Putin?
It is working with Putin, I think. I did different with him because we don't do very much business with Russia, for one thing. He's not like somebody that buys a lot from us because of foolishness. And I think he'd like to be. I think he wants to come in and he wants to trade with us and he wants to make a lot of money for Russia, and I think that's great.
The commander-in-chief has directed the U.S. military to destroy at least 9 vessels in the waters off Venezuela, killing more than 36 alleged drug smugglers. U.S. lawmakers, including at least 4 Republicans, have questioned the strike's legality.
In the meantime, right there. So, Tom, tariffs. If what do you think is likely that the Supreme Court will not allow him to use the tariffs?
I do not think the Supreme Court is going to take that pen out of his hand.
Good.
Oh, Tom, if they do, let me tell you.
I don't think they will.
Okay.
I don't think they will.
Brandon, where you at?
Yeah, no, I don't think they will either. That's like the nuclear option for the Supreme Court if they wanted to undermine him. I don't think they would do that. I think the only reason that they have to do it is because of what the federal judges have been doing, and it got kicked up to the Supreme Court. So
let me ask you this. What if the Supreme Court was 6-3 on the left? Do you think they would have prevented him from using the tariffs?
Yeah, because the left seems to have like this self-hating syndrome where they want to do what's worst for America, and they just because Trump wants to do it, they want the opposite.
It's not self-hating. It's an intentional, planned, globalist agenda playbook.
Yeah.
And that has to come with the reduction of strength and influence of America. And you start with our marriages, you move to our people. You
believe it's intentional?
Do I believe that there's an intentional effort out there to do this? I absolutely believe it. I believe that Obama wanted it. Obama, I believe, wanted to reduce the influence of America and want to put it back. Look at some of the quotes that he made on it. He was very clear about it. It wasn't his number 1 or number 2 flag to wave, but he was very clear about, the old America and reducing, the imperialist influence, and it's all there. It is very intentional. The globalist agenda is intentional and depends on 2 things. 1, America's influence economically has to slide, and America's political influence through military and other things has to slide. How do you do that? Don't let the president handle tariffs. Don't let the president handle foreign intervention. There's so many things that they're trying to do. And meanwhile here, they want trans in the schools and a whole list of other things to destroy the fabric of what was proud America that got us here in the first place.
Destroying national identity, too, through mass immigration. Look at what Bush did with spending $10 trillion on wars that we didn't know why we were fighting. Clinton did a bunch of tech transfers to China, let China into the World Trade Organization. So, yeah, it goes all the way back to even Clinton and Bush Sr. maybe, that in terms of weakening America. I don't know if they actually knowingly did it, but they were definitely encouraged by people who want that outcome to do what they did.
Yeah, did you see Clinton with he had a Band-Aid on his nose this weekend?
Hillary's violent.
But did you see that?
No,
or
I
no?
did on his nose. He was hugging his daughter.
Yeah,
and I saw a cut on
Normally
his nose.
at that age, when it's a Band-Aid, it's a skin blemish or something that happens. Yeah, that you put it on.
But Pat,
or it's like a little, little squamish cell cancer.
It happens.
Hillary gets wild. But you guys made a good point too about, like, think about it. These Republicans that, like, Trump is obviously a man's man. He's an alpha. He's taking charge, bro, and takes responsibility. He's doing all this. If you notice, the Democratic Party with Obama, the left likes a president that's like, yeah, everything's nice. Even though they're screwing you, they still everything. I know how to speak good, and I know how to speak well, and we learned this past 4 years. They don't even need an actual president. The system behind them, because we all know Biden wasn't running the show. They could just run on people telling them do this. That.
Oh, they prefer that. They don't want somebody who thinks.
They don't want somebody who thinks.
That's the allegation that I happen to think is on point. That the shadow government that's in there are invisible hands moving levers.
100%. And if you had to pick who was in charge, like who was the shot caller during Biden? Who was the person that was the male or female that was because somebody had to be in charge.
Don't blink, you'll miss it.
Or Jake Sullivan blinking, yeah.
Okay, but you think Obama had some say in there?
A little bit.
I don't know. I mean, when you're hearing Sullivan and those guys, you typically think Obama. But think about what happened with Brennan this weekend, Rob, if you want to play this clip. So Brennan, okay, which you know what his previous job was, okay? Here's the former director of CIA, okay? He's up there having a conversation. This man in a blue suit approaches him, and watch what happens to Brennan within a few seconds and how quickly he starts using his index finger. Go ahead, Rob. Hunter Biden laptop.
And you misrepresented that. We never said it was disinformation. We said it was Russian influence operations, which is what they do. There's a big difference between influence operations. No, you don't know that. Yes, you don't know. Comey knew.
It's coming, dude. It's coming. They're coming for you, bro.
If that had been a British pub, that would have been a green bottle on the forehead.
Rob, where was this, Rob?
I'd have to check.
Can we find out where this was? Because to me, what I want to know is, who was that man that approached him?
George Mason University.
Okay. Can you find out?
Oh, and I know the guy that I found the guy that
approached him?
Yes.
Who is the guy that approached?
Man with beer.
Yeah. Who is the man that approached Brennan about Hunter Biden laptop?
Right here. His name is Thomas
Speciale.
Yes.
I like him already.
Is that the guy?
Yes. He part of the Republican Party. I believe he ran for office in here it is, for Virginia. This is his website.
Are you 100% that's the guy?
That's what the news article was saying, yes.
Okay, can we learn about this guy? Does he have a Wikipedia? Is there anything to learn about him?
Let me see if I can find
I just want to know anything I can learn who this guy is.
Wikipedia.
And Pat, notice.
Okay, maybe go to his profile above. I'm sorry, Vinny.
No, it's all good. He said he goes, you signed the memo saying that the Hunter laptop was rushing this misinformation. And he's trying to backtrack and trying to say that he didn't. We know you did, along with 51 other of your freaking deep state losers. That's what he was. He's getting called out for it because he knows the hammer's coming down on him, Pat.
You think it is?
He's gonna get.
Okay.
I pray and I hope that they all get it, all of them. Comey, all that stuff. I know Comey's right now. Lawyers are trying to dismiss it. No, they all have to pay it. Him and John Bolton and him and them. And I'm happy that they're approaching
background them. Is a military and intelligence community. So he was MI in the military. He served active duty and reserves, including deployments to Afghanistan. Continues as Chief Warrant Officer, so CWO3. Okay. In Army Reserve. Professionally in the intelligence field, he is listed as Senior Advisor for the Director of National Intelligence. Okay, so respect, Senior Advisor. And he also has held roles, broader intelligence community, including Defense Intelligence Agency and the National Counterterrorism Center and the National Intelligence Management Council. So he's not just anybody that's going up to Brennan to challenge him. Does Brennan knows who he is? Did he ever work with Brennan? Okay. Did they ever work together? I'm curious.
That's a really good question. Because if they didn't work together, do you think Brennan would risk going up to a citizen like that? Or if it was someone that he knew and they had a past, like they knew each other from committee or task force, and he comes up there and says that? I would, because you go like that on some citizen, you're going to get a broken beer on the forehead. Bang.
Oh, you're not touching me like that.
But if he already knew the guy, goes, no, we never said that. We said foreign interference.
Yeah, all I want to know is, did they work together? Yeah, I did not find credible sort of work together, but they didn't work together. Okay, so, yeah, because when you have something like that and a guy comes in putting his hands on you, it's a little...
You're not touching me.
It's a little weird situation. But, yeah, so... You know, Brandon, when you see this, what are you thinking about what's going on with Brennan right now? You think anything's going to happen with him?
Yeah, there's never been a time in my life when I've looked at John Brennan or heard him speak and didn't think that was a vile, dirty, disgusting person that's done bad things. And I haven't heard hardly anybody say good things about him. Like, look at John Kirikou. Like, that was enemy number one for him. He said that this guy systematically tried to destroy his life and keep him in jail and put him in jail. So I don't think that he doesn't feel like a guy who has good intentions for the country. There's allegations of him being a communist, having communist roots that go back to when he was young. So yeah, I do put him right in that group of Comey, Bolton, and who was the other one that was under Letitia James. Like, I put him right in there with that group of people who should be looked into.
That's the deep, like when you say deep state, they try to call us crazy.
Yes,
that's them. And just FYI, they're still in. Like, I love how people thought Trump got in this time, and they're not still in there trying and scheming and trying to do their stuff. But those are the face. If you just look at John Brennan's face, just look at his angry, just bitter. Like, it says it.
By the way, when we had John Kirikou here, John Kirikou used to work with them. Mm-hmm. And John Kirikou said he couldn't stand working with them. By the way, guess what? John Kirikou is a guy that is on Manect. So if somebody actually wanted to Manect John Kirikou, Rob, I think I just... You know, if you don't have his handle, okay, I'm going to send it to you right now, Rob.
There it is.
Yeah, put his Manect link below, Rob, for people to be able to go Manect him. John Kirikou was the guy that exposed waterboarding and got in trouble for it. That's who he is. John Kirikou was and he worked on a lot of strong missions himself. And former CIA counterterrorism officer and former senior investigator for Senate Foreign Relations. He did not have good things to say about Brennan. Rob, can you go back to that clip that he have of Brennan? I just saw something he had up there.
He's on the train.
Yes, he was confronted at I believe it's his D.C. train station.
Go ahead,
and,
Rob.
Doesn't respond.
I was just trying to get you to clear it up. If you saw the dossier before the election.
Read my memoir.
I've read excerpts of it.
Look at that face.
But
read the rest of it.
Are you concerned about a possible indictment?
Yes.
Coming from DOJ?
Please.
What do you think about the situation now? Anything you could say, sir. Just want to clear the record, give you a chance to talk.
I would have given him more.
Did you see
it,
the Steele dossier or not? That's pretty much the gist of the situation, right?
Probably texting his CIA friends. This guy's on the list.
You have nothing to say, sir,
he's
about
scrolling up. You can actually see what he's doing.
Yeah.
My memoir.
Will you be involved at all in testimony before the Judiciary Committee in the coming weeks? Or coming months?
You're just scrolling. TikTok.
Maybe tell us what you think about the direction of the intelligence community now under Trump.
Is that a BBW Instagram account he's looking at?
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
I mean, listen, respect. Maybe it's like a Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying? Who
Gotta
knows?
be careful. Yeah. Brennan's going to do the Kevin Spacey thing to him.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah. What?
He's going to push him in front of the train. Like
exactly.
House of Cards.
House of Cards.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Kevin Spacey, House of Cards.
Whoop. Yeah. He doesn't look like he's capable of doing something like that. He looks like a guy that's extremely sweetheart.
With that guy.
No.
He
runs a daycare
He
center.
does not look like he's capable of doing something like that. Okay. So next story I want to get into is. Let's see, which one do we get into? Do we get into this one here? Let's go into this one. All right, so CBS, okay. Actually, no, I'm going to go to this one here. CNN Scott Jennings calls MSNBC Lawrence O'Donnell irrelevant lunatic. Apparently, O'Donnell had some things to say about Scott Jennings, okay, and he wasn't too happy what Scott Jennings was doing, And Scott Jennings didn't hold back on getting back after Lawrence O'Donnell. What did Lawrence O'Donnell call him, Rob?
I have the clip if you like me
Go
to play
for it. Go ahead.
Compromised itself accordingly. The firing started right away in that new regime. That's why Jim Acosta is no longer there, and others are no longer there. And everyone who remains has become much more careful in anything they might even think of saying about Donald Trump. And now CNN eagerly pays a Trump supporter to lie on CNN every day and night for Donald Trump. CNN did this during the first Trump presidential campaign and presidency. CNN regularly paid Trump supporters to lie about Trump on CNN, but the CNN regime then realized that was a mistake. And they stopped doing it. They stopped paying for lies. But then CNN got a new head. The head of CNN for the last 3 years, hired by the Trump-supporting owner and operator of CNN, is an Englishman who thinks paying Scott Jennings to lie about Donald Trump is money very well spent.
Pause it real quick.
Scott Jennings.
Let me ask you, how important do you think he thinks he is?
Very. The most.
Very.
But you understand?
Yeah.
Does he not give you the vibe of a guy that thinks he is like the almighty? Like, imagine like he goes to a restaurant with his friends from college.
Yeah.
And they say, so Lawrence, what do you think's going on? I can only imagine how he handles his fork in his...
This is Lawrence.
Am I the
Lawrence is
only
on
one?
TV.
Like, I can see like he's one of these, like, you know what I'm saying? Do you see it like extremely like putting the... He's like one of these guys.
Yeah, Lawrence.
Like one of those guys,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, here's the great Scott Jennings
That's where
responding.
you went. That's where you went.
Now, he just gave me the vibes. The way he was
so proper.
Here's Scott Jennings, who, by the way, low-key, you guys ready for this? Scott Jennings may run for president as well in 2028. No one's even paying attention to this guy. Scott Jennings may run for president in 2028, and here's Scott Jennings. Go ahead.
There's this lunatic on MSNBC at 10 o'clock every night named Lawrence O'Donnell. I had sort of forgotten that he was a thing, but I guess he still has a show, and he went crazy on yours truly the other night. Hollywood Sean, turn on the lunatic.
And now CNN eagerly pays a Trump supporter to lie on CNN every day and night for Donald Trump.
Fast forward that, Rob. Just take a look. All I think about when I look at him, I think about how he goes to dinner. Go ahead.
Lie? Someone at MSNBC is accusing someone else of lying from that propaganda outfit over there. They're accusing me or anyone else of lying. Outrageous. By the way, the head of CNN is a guy named Mark Thompson. He's an American citizen. I'm not sure what Lawrence O'Donnell was implying by calling him an Englishman.
Lying.
Mark Thompson is an American citizen. He is from Britain, but he's an American citizen. Here is Lawrence O'Donnell's real problem. He's irrelevant. Nobody likes his show. I was looking at some information. He's on at 10 o'clock Eastern at night. He's up against Abby Phillip, Newsnight with Abby Phillip, where I appear on a regular basis. I was looking at the last month, the month of October. They have this thing in television called the demo. The demo is short for advertising demographic, advertising demo. People ages 25 to 54, they pay attention to those numbers, because that's the people who are most likely to buy something they see in advertising. The advertising demo is a number TV people track.
Destroyed him.
Well,
tell
in the
us,
month
Scott.
of October, I'm sorry to report to Mr. O'Donnell, Abby Phillip was kicking his rear end by 30% on a nightly basis. 30% more people watching in the advertising demo than Lawrence O'Donnell. Can you imagine having a television show on a network and you spend your precious time on that network complaining about what someone else is doing on another network? That's how much pressure Lawrence O'Donnell is under.
Yep.
He's a failed media personality. Nobody cares what he thinks. His show is failing. Abby Phillip and CNN are kicking his rear end on a nightly basis. And so he goes on TV under all this pressure and has a psychotic episode.
You know, by the way,
episode.
do you know what I like? What he did? Did you catch why this man's a man of character?
Why?
Did you see what he did?
Huh. He didn't cuss?
No. He didn't say because of him.
Abby Phillip.
He said because of Abby Phillip's show.
Yes. It's not
He
his
didn't
show.
one time say because of him. That's what you call a man of character.
Yep.
Good for you, Scott Jennings, for doing that. And you gave a shout out to a liberal host, Abby. Dear Abby, you
Dear
gave a shout
Abby.
out to her And the way you did it, I respect the hell out of it. Good for you. And that is why I call Scott Jennings the CEO of CNN. Okay? He is the CEO of CNN. He's the CEO of CNN. He's the CNN. So maybe Lawrence O'Donnell is right in that area. But, Rob, can we see if we can have our bookers get a hold of Lawrence O'Donnell?
Please.
I just want to go to dinner with them.
Oh,
and I
want
to go to dinner with them just to kind of see how he eats. Okay. Because I'm willing to bet I'm right.
I would bet money on you.
I'm willing to bet like the bread. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the way, the butter.
His pinky's up.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, that pinky is just up no matter what.
Lawrence O'Donnell, so cute. Okay. All right. So let's see what you want to give. All right. Excellent. Netflix hires investment banker to explore a bid for Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers Discovery reports. Man, do we want to do it today or Wednesday time? Because I really want to get into the story.
Why don't we do that on Wednesday? So everybody come back Business Wednesday. We're going to dive into a bunch of stuff.
I have
like
a whole breakdown for Disney. And I'm going to tell you some thoughts. Okay, let's go to this. Heritage Foundation shaking up staff and wake up Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes controversy. What is this about, Rob?
This is the Heritage Foundation president defending Tucker Carlson's
Kevin
interview.
Roberts.
Yep, with Nick Fuentes.
By the way, isn't Kevin Roberts the one who was interviewed on World Economic Forum a year and a half ago where he crushed it?
Yes.
With the 3-minute and 20-second clip that he had. Great. He was, I think it's him, right? Yeah. He is phenomenal at the way. So let's just see what he has. So the whole story is about what, Rob? So let me read this here. Heritage Representative Kevin Roberts announced staff resignation, reassignments on Friday in the wake of the conservative uproar over statement defending Tucker Carlson. Okay, let's see what he has to say. Go ahead, Rob.
I'll have more to say on this in the coming days. But today I want to be clear about one thing. Christians can critique the state of Israel without being anti-Semitic. And of course, anti-Semitism should be condemned. My loyalty as a Christian and as an American is to Christ first and to America always. When it serves the interests of the United States to cooperate with Israel and other allies, we should do so, with partnerships on security, intelligence, and technology. But when it doesn't, conservatives should feel no obligation to reflexively support any foreign government, no matter how loud the pressure becomes from the globalist class or from their mouthpieces in Washington. The Heritage Foundation didn't become the intellectual backbone of the conservative movement by canceling our own people or policing the consciences of Christians. And we won't start doing that now. We don't take direction from comments on X, though we are grateful for the robust free speech debate. We also don't take direction from members or donors, though we are inherently grateful for their support. And we're adding more every day. This is the robust debate we invite with our colleagues, our movement friends, our members, and the American public. We will always defend truth. We will always defend America, and we will always defend our friends against the slander of bad actors who serve someone else's agenda. That includes Tucker Carlson, who remains, and as I have said before, always will be a close friend of the Heritage Foundation. The venomous coalition attacking him are sowing division. Their attempt to cancel him will fail. Most importantly, the American people expect us to be focusing on our political adversaries on the left, not attacking our friends on the right. I disagree with, and even abhor, things that Nick Fuentes says. But canceling him is not the answer either. When we disagree with a person's thoughts and opinions, we challenge those ideas in debate. And we have seen success in this approach as we continue to dismantle the vile ideas of the left. As my friend Vice President Vance said last night, what I am not okay with is any country coming before the interest.
Can pause right there. Okay, so which one of you guys? Tom, your thoughts on this?
I love that. I think he laid it out very well. And I happen to agree with that point of view. That point of view is me. I'm a Christian first, but America always. And I look at things around the world, and there's allies we have and things you support. And I think him coming out and supporting, Tucker very specifically, this is the Heritage Foundation saying, hey, this is what we're all about. We're not here to spin it. I'm not going to do a little tweet. I'm going to tell you exactly where we stand. And I respect it.
But what is the issue? Is the issue, Rob, all predicated based on Tucker having Nick on?
Yes.
And so that's it?
That's it.
That's what I'm saying.
Tucker has Nick on Tucker gets all kinds of heat and all kinds of things being thrown at him. Heritage Foundation comes out and says, bup, and Tucker Carlson is a friend of ours.
Yeah, but what's the issue, though? What I want, and who is this, Rob?
So this is Randy Fine. He is a congressman from the state of Florida. I believe he was just elected to office in this year. He is at the Republican Jewish Coalition this past weekend, where he claims that Tucker Carlson is the most dangerous anti-Semite in America.
He says this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Play it?
Because he had Nick on.
Let me hear it.
Tucker Carlson is the most dangerous anti-Semite in America. He has chosen to take on the mantle.
Pause right there, Rob. Can you find out how many people were at this event?
Doesn't sound like a lot.
No, it's not. No, that's not true. That's not true. It's sold out.
Oh, well,
it's their biggest event they ever had. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's not that it doesn't sound like it's a lot. It doesn't sound like it's a lot of people that support what he had to say.
That's what I mean, yeah.
No, those are two different things, though. Can we find out how many people were in attendance at this event? Hang on. Let me ask.
And it appears only people in those first couple rows that could be seen on camera held up that Tucker is not MAGA sign. You see that?
Right.
That's not the whole audience. It appears to be like a couple rows of people. Like, is this a photo op? I smell a rat the same way I think you're smelling a rat, Pat. There's 1,000 people here, and it sounds like a couple dozen clapping.
I'm actually taking a very different angle here. I just want to know. Tell me how many people were there. 1,000 people? Okay, go back. 1,000 people is a decent crowd, right? So if you got 1,000 people, go back to when he said it again, Rob. Yeah, please pray.
Tucker Carlson is the most dangerous anti-Semite in America.
What percentage of 1,000? What did that sound like? 100?
At first, it was very small. It grew a little bit because of discomfort.
I think you're right, 100.
Okay, 10% is clapping. That means 90% is not. At what time did this guy speak? Because by the end of the event, half the room was gone from what I was told that what happened. I was told that the event was Mayweather was at this event, if I'm not mistaken. A couple other guys were at this event, if I'm not mistaken. Who walked out at the... Yeah, okay. It's okay, Rob. Let's just hear what he has to say. So Tucker Carlson, he says, is the biggest what? What do you call it? Anti-Semite?
Anti-Semite in America.
Keep going.
He has chosen to take on the mantle of leader of a modern-day Hitler Youth, to broadcast and feature those who celebrate the Nazis, those who call for the extermination of Israel, to defend Hamas, to even criticize President Trump for stopping Iran's nuclear ambitions. Friends, make no mistake, Tucker is not MAGA.
Still the same number.
Tucker's fall from grace has been one of the most extraordinary implosions in political history. And the rapidity of it has created real challenges for us all. Because our friends don't have our shared experience. I even deal with this with my colleagues in the House. See, they remember the Tucker of 5 years ago. They don't live with anti-Semitism every day. They don't think about it the way that we do.
Can you stop it?
And it's...
But, Pat, is he the same guy that said that we should have nuked Gaza? Is that the same Randy Fine?
Yes.
He said to nuke Gaza, but he said it would be a bad idea because of the fallout with Israel.
Here's the problem. He doesn't represent majority of the Jews.
I agree.
He's not the face. He's not the majority of the Jews that you deal with. That's the problem here. Because you take a complete minority of the opposing side and a complete minority on the other side, and you pin them each other, and it sounds like it's the majority of each side, and it's not. It's not. And this actually is a terrible look. This is a terrible look. You know what a message like this does? For example, you know what this sounds like? You know what it sounds like? Randy doesn't sound any different than who was the guy that we had here who, we were trying to do a debate with him and Jason, and it didn't happen. It was an unfortunate situation last minute. Whitlock, and who was the other guy?
Roland
Martin.
Oh, you're right.
He sounds like the Roland Martin of the Jewish side.
Mm-hmm.
You don't sound any different than you don't know what it is to be black. You don't know what it is to be this. You sound exactly like Roland Martin. That's what you sound like. It's just selling more victimhood. By the way, you know what the challenge is sometimes? Like every time we would launch a new product and people didn't know how to sell it. And you would go and sit down, Tom, you would remember this. We would sit down, Vinny, with a new product to sell. They didn't know how to sell the product. And I would go to different offices. I'm like, you're not selling it right to resonate with the audience. You're trying to get to either recruit them over to us or to sell to that clientele. You don't know how to sell that product and package it right. They have a packaging issue right now. They truly have a packaging issue right now. They have a messaging issue right now. Rather than trying to improve instead of, saying it's anti-Semite, this, anti-Semite, that, just improve your messaging. Improve your packaging. Listen, do you know what the Jewish community desperately needs? A consulting firm, a marketing firm, to sit down with them and say, here's how I would repackage your messaging. Because you sound like the reparations of African Americans when it's like you don't understand what it is to be black. You sound like them. You sound like who you criticize. Nick Fuentes, I sat down and I talked to him. I didn't, what do you call it? When I showed him that clip from him at 18 years old, and I said, look, that kind of sounds racist. It kind of does. And then I said, but also, you were 18. Yes. So we have to also realize that you're kind of going through it. And you're, some stupid things I did at 18 years old. Okay, no problem. You have to go through it. But to me, a Nick and a Tucker sitting together is actually a very interesting conversation that probably most people. Now, by the way, some people are criticizing because when Nick said December 18th is one of my favorite days. Why? Because that's when Stalin was born. And then Tucker stops and he says, really? Okay, you want to criticize that? All right, and we'll come back we'll have the conversation. I haven't seen the whole interview, so I don't want to judge it saying the fact that I've seen the entire interview. But it's bad packaging, it's bad timing, it's too much, and it
waters down the term anti-Semite to say somebody like Tucker is the biggest anti-Semite in the world. Like, it does a disservice to
It's the only child syndrome.
Yeah.
It truly is the only child syndrome.
It's like racism. You keep using it and banging around. It's something that loses its power and its value.
It's not even where I'm going. Yeah, Tom, I just think it's the only child syndrome. Do you have friends that were only child?
Yeah.
Okay. Think about the only child you knew. Okay, don't say the name, but just think about who that person was. What was the attitude? What was their, and especially if the parents had money. Don't think about the only child when parents didn't have money. And don't think about the only child because parents didn't want to have more kids. Think about the parents that had one kid and they said, we only want one kid.
Okay, I'll say two things.
Go ahead.
One, I loved him to death because he was always available. And the reason he was always available, because he didn't have brothers and sisters, he didn't have things he had responsibilities to do. And so he was always the guy you could count on to be able to go with you or do something.
He probably wanted a brother.
But you know who was the hardest person to give feedback to because he never felt he was wrong?
Who?
Is him.
That's it.
Because he was at home and he never got corrected and he never understood being compared to a brother or sister and never
kicked his ass all the time. Yeah.
Correct. Nobody did that. So whenever we would get into it with him, we would say, dude's just being dude. And that would be it. Instead of dude, it was his name.
You know what Israel, you want to know what Israel needs?
Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. You know what Israel needs? I'm going to tell you what Israel needs.
A big brother?
No. Let me tell you what Israel needs. Oh my God, they need this. If they have the brass to do it. If they have the brass to do it. Are you ready?
Okay.
This is going to be the craziest idea I'm going to put out there. And please, if you support it, cut it, clip it, put it on X, and let's see what people say about it. I believe the way to save Israel, for them to be humbled, is Israel needs a roast like the Tom Brady roast.
Wow.
Put Netanyahu in the middle, bring Kevin Hart, Andrew Schultz, Dave Smith, bring, who's the guy, Kill Tony. Who is the other guy? Who's the other guy that plays Biden?
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Not Tony Hinchcliffe. The other guy.
That was Shane Gillis.
He was Shane Gillis. Bring Shane Gillis. Bring all of these comedians and let them do a 3-hour roast on Israel. Let them make so much fun of them, so much of it. And if you can take it, then the world is finally going to be like, all right, let's move on. We got it out of our system.
Yeah.
But they won't let it happen.
No.
Did you understand what I just said?
100%. Yeah.
Of course. It's the flippin' only child syndrome. I'm somebody that knows your enemy. Yeah. I lived with your enemy for freaking 11 years. This is just give me a flipping break. Man, it's like this is so much. Stop it already. It's the only child syndrome. Guess what happens when you go to the army? Everybody makes fun of everybody in the army. Do you know how brutal it is? Do you know how many nasty jokes we would say about each other? And there was always that handful of kids that couldn't take it. Yep. I think I'm going to go, hey, drill sergeant, I want to get out of the army and I want to ETS. Okay, no problem. Dishonorable discharge. But you're living in the social media world. You're going to get it every day. Now, do I believe the other side spends money on bots? Yes, you got a couple billion Muslims. And how many total Jews are there in the world? What's the population? 15 million people?
15? Yeah.
Do I believe they're playing games to pin the world against Israel? I do. Do I believe they're playing games to pin everybody against Jews? I do. Do I believe there are a lot of people that want to see these things increase even more? I do. Do I believe that Israel every year we give them $3 billion? Yes, but we force them to buy 80% of the money with the $3 billion they get to buy military contractors. It's kind of like me saying, I'm going to give you $100, Vinny, but guess what? I want you to spend $80 of it and buy equipment from Tom, who has a business in America. Okay. Money's coming back to me. 20% staying with you. Here's the way of me giving you some equipment. Yes. I'm getting it back anyways, right? Yep. It's a flywheel. The business coming back to me. Do I believe the $2-3 billion? We give Israel $3 billion every year. We gave SNAP of people that are from other countries $70 billion last year. None of you are bitching about it. Israel has such an easy messaging to do, but because they're the only child syndrome, spoiled, you're acting like a spoiled brat, and quite frankly, it's unattractive. You make it tough for people that support you to support you. And I can't believe I said this right now, but honestly, it's like, give it a flip and break already. You know what? Do the roast. Bibi, go do the roast. If not Bibi, who else is the biggest person like that to do the roast? Who is the face of the Israel? It's really only Bibi, right? Do you guys remember when Snoop roasted Trump and Trump sat in the middle and said, it ain't the first time you kicked out a black man out of his house? Yeah. When he told the joke about Obama and all this. And he just sat in the middle.
Yeah, laughing.
Guess what? Bibi needs a flippin' roast and bring the goats that do some painful stuff. Do you remember how painful some of the roasts were? Hey, while your wife was doing jujitsu and whatever. Yeah. Oh, my. And Robert Kraft was at a massage this. And it's like, hey, don't say anything about Robert Kraft. And don't say about. Guess what happened afterwards, Brady?
Take it.
Brady's, it's like, all right, we're over it.
And then he got the crap on them at the end.
And then it's like, we're done.
Yeah.
But I yeah.
Good,
I don't know, man. I think if you hired me as a marketing agency, and we definitely won't take money from you. But if you came and you hired us and we were to give any kind of ideas, I don't know who the hell is giving advice to them on the messaging. By the way, at least Charlie Kirk was trying to tell him, your messaging is not sitting with the younger generation. What are you doing? What are you doing? By the way, would you want to see that roast?
Oh.
Which roast would you rather watch, Tom Brady or Bibi Netanyahu?
Bibi Netanyahu.
Would you pay to watch that roast?
100% I want to see them go after him. Oh, yeah. And then let him come back. You get to get it all dumped on you, sit there and take it on the chin, and then you go.
Well, by the way, actually, what happens if he agrees to that roast?
Probably one of the most viewed things. It'd be the most viewed roast past Tom
No.
Brady.
What do you think happens to Israel?
People stop talking about it as much.
What do you think happens to Israel? Do you think it becomes like, all right, this was kind of funny. All right, we got a kind of our system. So if they're pushing you like this, you're an anti-Semite, you're this, you're the, all right, roast. All right. Maybe they come here. I don't think it's going to go here.
Of course not.
But I think it brings a 20%.
Yeah,
bro.
What you need.
It's insane.
What you need.
Sometimes all your kids want to do is they just want to say what they feel about you at a you know how you go to a dinner table and they're like, the other day I'm having a conversation with my kids. And I'm asking about papaus. Okay. Who got papaus? And they're going through the story of all these papaus. And it was almost like a therapy session for them because they're like, Papa's given all of us papaus. What? I didn't know that till last week.
What do you mean?
I've never known that Papa's given the kids papaus.
Really?
So I'm like, wait, what?
Gabriel's done
He says, oh, and then they look at me like, the look like I'm crazy? You know what look I'm talking about? Like,
wait.
What do you mean?
You live
like,
here
you didn't
too,
know?
right?
I'm like,
you don't know?
Wait, Papa gave you guys papas? Papa's giving Brooklyn Papa. No. Yeah, on the hand.
Oh.
And she gets hurt. But I'm like, wow. And then they're like, well, listen, Melba too. I said, there's no way, Melba. Dad, you don't know Melva like we know Melva. You're at work. I'm like, Melva gave you papa? And then by the time it was out of their system, they're like, all right, you want to go watch a movie?
Yeah,
all right, it was
let's
cool.
go.
But I just think, like, dude, some of the most annoying people in my life, you know who they are?
Only child.
Only child for sure. Only child. Let me watch. Half my employees are going to be only. I'm going to get an email from HR.
for sure.
17 complaints from the only child kids that you offended them. But you know what's
bite me.
You know what's one of the most annoying people in the world. Think about the most annoying people in the world. Only childs are in that community.
Yeah.
Watch. Rob, can you do me a favor? Run a poll of how many people are
in our chat, in our group. Okay.
Can you run a poll of how many people here
Let's
are
guess.
only
Can we
child?
guess? And how many people are watching?
How
right
many
now?
people are only child that are watching this podcast?
Let's say there's over 40,000 people watch. 45,000. I would say
10%.
No way. You think so?
Yeah.
Wow.
Where are you at?
I don't know if it's that, but okay.
I was gonna say
that's
10.
crazy.
Wait,
10 or
it's higher or
9.
low?
You think it's higher than 10%?
I'll say 13.
No, I think it's like 10% or less.
Okay, let's see,
I'll
Rob.
say
Did
11.
you start the poll, Rob?
I did.
Let's see it.
12%.
Wow, Vinny.
What? 12%. Let's go.
Wow, so that's the number.
That's a lot of people.
You mean to tell me nearly...
It's going up, Pat. It's
Wow,
going up.
10% are only child. I mean, I'll trust that when that hits 4,000 votes because that's when you know it's a real number.
Yeah.
But, okay, you know who are the most annoying people in the world outside of only child? We should sell a shirt. I'm an only child, and I'm proud of it. No, but you know what it is? People who think they walk on water.
Oh, of course. It's the worst. Worst. No humble, entitled, elitist, chin up.
Do you know, like, here's what's the crazy thing. Do you know, even when I said this, I didn't make any new friends today.
At all.
I lost all the only child.
For sure.
Jews are upset with me right now.
Muslims are mad at the beginning of the show.
And no, Muslims are saying that's not enough. You should go even more.
Yeah.
I don't have, I'm alone. By the way, I'm going to go home by myself tonight.
You're going to get
But
pop
I'm
out.
just telling you what I believe.
Yep.
And I think Israel desperately needs a roast for Bibi.
That'd be awesome.
I think it's a great idea. It'll take the pressure down.
Let me tell you, if it ever happens, remember where the idea came from. Purely, how did this idea even come about? What were we talking
We're talking
about?
about Randy Fine and the way that his attitude and the
We're going to
only
have to
child.
thank Randy.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to
thank you, Randy.
Suddenly we ended up over here.
Thanks, Randy.
That is so
But if you think
funny.
about it too, Pat, and you make a great point, and it's like by the way, if you're gonna do a consulting, the only child thing, you have to especially the people that are doing the messaging, because there's some people on the Israel side that you could tolerate, you could listen to because they make good points. But when you have a Randy Fine saying nuke places, bomb them, and then you have Rabbi Shmuley as one of your biggest, loudest mouthpieces, I would be like, guys, that guy has to retire. Nobody wants to hear the messaging. And Brandon, you made a good point. The criticizing of a government of a country, when you label meaning I hate all Jews, that's where you lose a lot of people. Because if you can't criticize the government because you're scared to be, I'm not a racist, you lose it for people. People go, man, I can't even criticize.
You and I were talking the other day.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many of us were together. And I asked you, I said, tell me the worst experience you've ever had with a Jew. You couldn't think of one person. Remember that?
Yeah.
You couldn't think of one. Do you remember that or no?
Yeah,
It was me,
100%.
you, and Tom.
Yeah.
I asked Tom, what did Tom say? Could you think about one person? Have you ever had a bad experience with a Jew?
Adam excluding.
Have you had a bad experience?
Yeah.
One?
Yeah.
Very bad? Don't say it.
Over faith and things, no, but just in general, just trying to work with, yes.
Difficult to work with. Okay, so Tom had a bad experience. You're so funny.
I know exactly what he's talking about. I get it, Tom. I get it.
Is that person maybe like... okay. Well,
Right,
I think the audience...
Yeah, they know. They know. They're not stupid. They know.
But the part is, man, when you get to a point that it's just like, you get nothing wrong and all this other stuff a little too much. It's not attractive. And all right, so it was only child. Oh shit,
14%.
Still. Wow. Well, guess what?
14%.
What's 14% of 40,000 viewers, Rob? 14% of 40,000 is about 6,000. That means we're gonna have 35,000 people watching next Monday.
Yeah,
we just lost 6,000 of our only. Hey, to only child, you have a problem with that? You don't have a brother anyways. Can you imagine? I'm going to call my brother. You ain't got one, dog. My brother's going to come after you and whoop your ass. Oh, man, I don't have a brother either, but...
we're your brothers, Pat.
Yeah, no, it's anyways, listen, that was plenty. I think we should just wrap up on that.
Oh, man.
Folks, Vinny said something. I want to wrap up with this, if you're watching this. When we were talking about Nigeria, Vinny briefly said faith over fear. Regardless about all these issues we're having, Muslims, Jews, Christians, trauma all over the world, stuff that we got going on, we still believe the future looks bright, and I believe the man upstairs is in charge, period. My faith is in him. And one of our favorite gears we ever came up with was Vinny's, and it's called Faith Over Fear. Can you go to the, is there a collection of it, Rob, or no? I thought we had a collection that said Faith Over Fear. If not.
And we're having, and Pat, hats.
I thought there was one that said Faith Over
hats
Fear.
Hats will be coming out this week, and I got them.
Okay, can you remind them to just put it up there? Maybe go to a Faith Over Fear shirt on one of them. There you go. And put that link below for people to order.
They can make a
and
playlist.
I got and Faith Over Fear shirt, hoodie. If you are somebody that you have faith over fear, and this is Vinny's brand, we even got the ladies shirt as well. Vinny got so many messages from the ladies saying, can we get some ladies? We got ladies as well. Go place an order for your faith over fear gear, hoodie, shirt, white, black, you pick and choose. We even got it in red. Rob, if you can put the link below for people to find as well, that will be fantastic. With that being said, we will see you guys at a roast here coming soon, God willing. I am sure Netflix would be loving to bid on that, to have that roast be on Netflix. But whoever does it, I can't wait to watch it. Anyways, God bless everybody. We will do this again on Wednesday. Business Wednesday, come ready. Last week we talked about Disney. Some stuff's happened to the stock the next day. I got a whole different analysis for Disney to give you guys this Wednesday with a bunch of other things. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.